It's still Conor Gallagher, Gordon, Spill, Harry Kane's there. Wherever, whenever.
But Harry Kane, we've seen him drop deep so many times to set up play, but one of the things that will never go away from his game is the fact that he stays in between the posts and he picks goals like this up. Same the other night.
I do have Jason Manford as the co-commentator. Here is Njai, on to Ghana. And Idrissa Gana Gueye is prevented by Dean Henderson. Now he's on the search again. Keeps it alive, and Ismaila Sarr's arriving. And he's beaten Kyle Walker to it. And Senegal are level. The first team to breach Thomas Tuchel's England are Senegal. Lovely ball. There goes Diarra. He's got support too. It's Diarra for Senegal, who take the lead. Senegal in control. And England have got a touch green around the gills.
Been really, really good.
Here's Eze. Robbie flicked to Morgan gives one. It's a really good save from Edouard Mendy. Straight at the goalkeeper, but he had to react.
It's on a plane as well, and he chooses Gibbs White to put his laces through it.
There's a lurking on the edge of the area as the cross comes in from Madueke. Ball's coming to Jude Bellingham there to rescue England again. His action as a deliberate handball, which Stephanie Frappart is now going to have to decide, because essentially the VAR has decided that that is a subjective decision and she needs to have a look at it. Now the referee has overturned the decision. It's no goal. England are denied an equaliser because of a handball given against Levi Colwill in the build-up to Bellingham's finish. Jones has been dispossessed here. Now England have got real trouble. Lamine Camara is steaming forward. He's got Njai over on the far side, and joining is Sabali, and England have beaten the first African side to beat England.
Into the final quarter of an hour of normal time then. 0-0 between Nigeria and Gabon. The World Cup dream could stay alive for only one of these teams at the end of this game today, but it may well require extra time, even penalties. Now then, this could be the chance for the Nigerians, gifted to them. And they've taken it. Akor Adams turning. It's a disaster for Gabon. And the Super Eagles are ahead. Oh, horrible, horrible moment for Aaron Apindangoye and for Gabon. And all credit to Akor Adams for keeping a cool head in that situation. Well, there was no pressure whatsoever on the defender here. He's had a bit of time, too much time in the end to make his mind up. And just playing that ball into the danger zone, leaving the goalkeeper completely stranded, and the Sevilla striker Akor. The gesture to point out that he was beaten by the deflection. Just a hopeful long ball forward. It came off the head of Osai Samuel. And there's the shot from Mario Lemina, one of Gabon's most experienced players. Mario Lemina again. Aubameyang. He's given that away. Maybe an opportunity for Nigeria to break. Osimhen running through on goal in the 12th minute of stoppage time. Victor Osimhen to win it. He's put it wide. Well, he's not been his usual self in the second half, Victor Osimhen. And somewhat ashen-faced looking Eric Schell. He can't believe it. Nigeria could have won this right at the end of injury time. Have to question why Gabon was so wide open. Osimhen was coming from his own half, he wasn't offside. And the country as well. Collective sigh of relief maybe too. Great play by Ndidi, perfectly measured ball. And Djuke, the second half substitute, just picking his spot low in the corner. Maybe an unlikely hero for the Super Eagles. The Sevilla winger who'd never scored for his country before. Celebrates in style. And you have to say huge credit to the young defender Benjamin Frederick. Talk about defending on the front foot, charging forward into the opposition half of the field and giving it to Osimhen inside the box. A really superbly taken goal from such a tight angle. The Galatasaray man makes it Nigeria 3, Gabon 1. It's really hard to see Gabon coming back from this. The Nigerians have the wind in their sails. And once again he finds the corner, bringing that ball down superbly. Just bulldozing his way through. Fantastic from a brilliant striker. What a response. Into the final quarter of an hour of normal time then. 0-0 between Nigeria and Gabon. The World Cup dream could stay alive for only one of these teams at the end of this game today, but it may well require extra time, even penalties. Now then, this could be the chance for the Nigerians, gifted to them. And they've taken it. Akor Adams turning the ball in. It's a disaster for Gabon. And the Super Eagles are ahead. Oh, horrible, horrible moment for Aaron Apindangoye and for Gabon. And all credit to Akor Adams for keeping a cool head in that situation. Well, there was no pressure whatsoever on the defender here. He had a bit of time, too much time in the end to make his mind up. And just playing that ball into the danger zone, leaving the goalkeeper completely stranded, and the Sevilla striker Akor. The gesture to point out that he was beaten by the deflection. Just a hopeful long ball forward. It came off the head of Osai Samuel. And there's the shot from Mario Lemina, one of Gabon's most experienced players. Mario Lemina again. Aubameyang. He's given that away. Maybe an opportunity for Nigeria to break. Osimhen running through on goal in the 12th minute of stoppage time. Victor Osimhen to win it. He's put it wide. Well, he's not been his usual self in the second half, Victor Osimhen. And somewhat ashen-faced looking Eric Schell. He can't believe it. Nigeria could have won this right at the end of injury time. Have to question why Gabon was so wide open. Osimhen was coming from his own half, he wasn't offside. And the country as well. Collective sigh of relief maybe too. Great play by Ndidi, perfectly measured ball. And Djuke, the second half substitute, just picking his spot low in the corner. Maybe an unlikely hero for the Super Eagles. The Sevilla winger who'd never scored for his country before. Celebrates in style. And you have to say huge credit to the young defender Benjamin Frederick. Talk about defending on the front foot, charging forward into the opposition half of the field and giving it to Osimhen inside the box. A really superbly taken goal from such a tight angle. The Galatasaray man makes it Nigeria 3, Gabon 1. It's really hard to see Gabon coming back from this. The Nigerians have the wind in their sails. And once again he finds the corner, bringing that ball down superbly, just bulldozing his way through. Fantastic from a brilliant striker. What a response. Into the final quarter of an hour of...
Let's get There's a reason he scored Victor, trying to lead Nigeria to victory. And goal for the Super Eagles. And they are trying to show how much they want this success, trying to have excess. The fans are celebrating. Nigeria won. Benin Republic nil.
Fantastic goal by Victor Osimhen.
It could be that second goal now with his cross. Victor Osimhen! He's gotten his brace. He could enjoy a warm embrace. The Super Eagles have doubled their lead. But would it be enough in this race for the World Cup?
A free kick.
Taken by the Super Eagles now.
Whoa!
And Victor Osimhen has gotten a hat-trick. 3 times he has scored for Nigeria. Moses Simon from the left-hand side can square through from that territory, goes past his marker, will cross the ball in, and this could be like goal! Goal! The Super Eagles score the fourth.
Let's go!
And just maybe the dream of getting to the playoffs has come alive. Well, the players know that they have lost the top spot, but finishing second could still ensure that they keep dreaming.
Punish this one, and it does that really well. It's the Sevilla forward to Akko Adams that has given the Super Eagles of Nigeria the lead in Rabat. It's Nigeria 1, Gabon 0. And Gabon have equalized. The Panthers have equalized. It's disappointment for the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Beautiful string of play, opening up the attack. Wilfred Ndidi driving forward. A fantastic opportunity. Get to the one-time shot, and that's a goal. Benjamin Frederick.
And Benjamin Fredericks.
Finally.
Gets the ball to Victor Osimhen. Finally, Victor Osimhen.
Finally.
It's the bullseye. It's 3-1.
Finally.
He's going to get a yellow card for that one. I doubt that was unnecessary. It's unnecessary. Takes off his shirt. And it's not a goal that wins this camp. That's a Ronaldo moment in the Champions League in 2014, isn't it? Another goal, this time around from Victor Osimhen again. Lovely work, lovely finish from the Galatasaray man. He's finally found his ranger, but he's done that in extra time. It's Nigeria 4, Gabon 1. What a mistake. Akko Adams is going to punish this one. And it does that really well. It's the Sevilla forward to Akko Adams that has given the Super Eagles of Nigeria the lead in Rabat. It's Nigeria 1, Gabon 0. And Gabon have equalized. The Panthers have equalized. It's disappointment for the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Beautiful string of play, opening up the attack. Wilfred Ndidi driving forward. A fantastic opportunity. Get to the one-time shot, and that's a goal. Benjamin Frederick.
And Benjamin Fredericks.
Finally.
Gets the ball to Victor Osimhen. And finally, Victor Osimhen.
Finally.
It's the bullseye. It's 3-1.
Finally.
He's going to get a yellow card for that one. I doubt that was unnecessary. It's unnecessary. Takes off his shirt. And it's not a goal that wins this camp. That's a Ronaldo moment in the Champions League in 2014, isn't it? Another goal, this time around from Victor Osimhen again. Lovely work, lovely finish from the Galatasaray man. He's finally found his ranger, but he's done that in extra time. It's Nigeria 4, Gabon 1. What a mistake. Akko Adams is going to punish this one. And it does that really well. It's the Sevilla forward to Akko Adams that has given the Super Eagles of Nigeria
bomb time, as we say in Premier League football, but a good ball in the box, maybe a header from one of the players who would be there to get on the end of things. Hopefully, Chuma, hopefully.
Corner kick for the RC. Would this be that moment? How much of a heartbreaking experience is going to be for the Indomitable Lions? Outswing out across. Comes at the edge! Cameroon need a doctor because the team DR Congo have left it late. Chancel Mbemba and his teammates are dancing samba. DRC with the goal. Heartbreaking moments for Cameroon. It's 1-0.
Call me the prophet.
You said it, man. You said
Call me the prophet. I mean, is that a squeaky bomb time? A squeaky bomb time. I mean, it's squeaky bomb time, as we say in Premier League football, but a good ball in the box, maybe a header from one of the players who would be there to get on the end of things. Hopefully, Chuma, hopefully.
Corner kick for the RC. Would this be that moment? How much of a heartbreaking experience is going to be for the Indomitable Lions? Outswing out across. Comes at the edge! Cameroon need a doctor because the team DR Congo have left it late. Chancel Mbemba and his teammates are dancing samba. DRC with the goal. Heartbreaking moments for Cameroon. It's 1-0.
Call me the prophet.
You said it, man. You said
Call me the prophet. I mean, is that a squeaky bomb time? A squeaky bomb time. I mean, it's squeaky bomb time, as we say in Premier League football, but a good ball in the box, maybe one of the players who would be there to get on the end of things. Hopefully.
Ezra has won it back. Now it's Gallagher. It's Gordon. Spill. Harry Kane's there. Wherever. Whenever.
But Harry Kane, we've seen him drop deep so many times to set up play, but one of the things that will never go away from his game is the fact that he stays in between the posts and he picks goals like this up. Same the other night.
I do have Jason Manford as the co-commentator. Here is Njai. On to Ghana. And just to Ghana Gay is prevented by Dean Henderson. Now he's on the search again. Keeps it alive, and Ismaila Sarr's arriving. And he's beaten Kyle Walker to it. And Senegal are level. The first team to breach Thomas Tuchel's England are Senegal. Lovely ball. There goes Diarra. He's got support too. It's Diarra for Senegal, who take the lead. Senegal in control. England have got a touch green around the gills.
Been really, really good.
Here's Eze. Lovely flick to Morgan Gibbs. It's a really good save from Edouard Mendy. Straight at the goalkeeper, but he had to react.
It's on a plane as well, and he chooses Gibbs White to put his laces through it.
There's a lurking on the edge of the area as the cross comes in from Madueke. As a deliberate handball, which Stephanie Frappart is now going to have to decide, because essentially the VAR has decided that that is a subjective decision and she needs to have a look at it. Well, the referee has overturned the decision. It's no goal. England are denied an equaliser because of a handball given against Levi Colwill in the build-up to Bellingham's finish. Jones has been dispossessed here, and now England have got real trouble. Amin Kamara is steaming forward. He's got Njai over on the far side, and joining is Sabali, and England have beaten the first African side to beat England. Ezra has won it back. Now it's Gallagher. It's still Conor Gallagher. Gordon, Spill, Harry Kane's there. Wherever,
whenever. But Harry Kane, we've seen him drop deep so many times to set up play, but one of the things that will never go away from his game is the fact that he stays in between the posts and he picks goals like this up. Same the other night.
I do have Jason Manford as the co-commentator. Here is Njai. On to Ghana. And Idrissa Gana Gueye is prevented by Dean Henderson. Now he's on the search again. Keeps it alive, and Ismaila Sarr's arriving. And he's beaten Kyle Walker to it. And Senegal are level. The first team to breach Thomas Tuchel's England are Senegal. It's a lovely ball. Away goes Diarra. He's got support too. It's Diarra for Senegal, who take the lead. Senegal in control. And England have got a touch green around the girls.
Been really, really good.
Here's Eze. Lovely flick to Morgan Gibbs. It's a really good save from Edouard Mendy. Straight at the goalkeeper, but he had to react.
It's on a plane as well, and he chooses Gibbs White to put his laces through it.
There's a lurking on the edge of the area as the cross comes in from Madueke. As a deliberate handball, which Stephanie Frappart is now going to have to decide, because essentially the VAR has decided that that is a subjective decision and she needs to have a look at it. Now the referee has overturned the decision. It's no goal. England are denied an equaliser because of a handball given against Levi Colwell in the build-up to Bellingham's finish. Jones has been dispossessed here. Now England have got real trouble. Amin Kamara is steaming forward. He's got Njai over on the far side. And joining is Sabali. And England have beaten the first African side to beat England. Ezra has won it back. Now it's Gallagher. It's still Conor Gallagher. Gordon. Spill. Harry Kane's there. Wherever. Whenever.
But Harry Kane, we've seen him drop deep so many times to set up play, but one of the things that will never go away from his game is the fact that he stays in between the posts and he picks goals like this up. Same the other night.
I do have Jason Manford as the co-commentator. Here is Njai. On to Ghana. And Idrissa Gana Gueye is prevented by Dean Henderson. Now he's on the search again. Keeps it alive, and Ismaila Sarr's arriving. And he's beaten Kyle Walker to it. And Senegal are level. The first team to breach Thomas Tuchel's England are Senegal. It's a lovely ball. Away goes Diarra. He's got support too. It's Diarra for Senegal, who take the lead. Senegal in control. England have got a touch green around the girls.
Been really, really good.
Here's Eze. A lovely flick to Morgan Gibbs. It's a really good save from Edouard Mendy. Straight at the goalkeeper, but he had to react.
It's on a plane as well, and he chooses Gibbs White to put his laces through it.
There's a lurking on the edge of the area as the cross comes in from Madueke. As a deliberate handball, which Stephanie Frappart is now going to have to decide, because essentially the VAR has decided that that is a subjective decision and she needs to have a look at it. The referee has overturned the decision. It's no goal. England are denied an equaliser because of a handball given against Levi Colwell in the build-up to Bellingham's finish. Jones has been dispossessed here. Now England have got real trouble. Amin Kamara is steaming forward. He's got Jai over on the far side, and joining is Sabali, and England have beaten the first African side to beat England.
There's a normal time there. Nigeria and Gabon. The World Cup dream could stay alive for only one of these teams at the end of this game today, but it may well require extra time, even penalties. Now then, this could be the chance for the Nigerians, gifted to them. And they've taken it. Akor Adams turning the ball in. It's a disaster for Gabon. And the Super Eagles are ahead. Oh, horrible, horrible moment for Aaron Apindangoye for Gabon. And all credit to Akor Adams for keeping a cool head in that situation. Well, there was no pressure whatsoever on the defender here. He had a bit of time, too much time in the end to make his mind up. And just playing that ball into the danger zone, leaving the goalkeeper completely stranded, and the Sevilla striker Akor. The gesture to point out that he was beaten by the deflection, just a hopeful long ball forward. It came off the head of Osai Samuel, and there's the shot from Mario Lemina, one of Gabon's most experienced players. Mario Lemina again. Aubameyang. He's given that away. Maybe an opportunity for Nigeria to break. Osimhen running through on goal in the 12th minute of stoppage time. Victor Osimhen to win it. He's put it wide. Well, he's not been his usual self in the second half, Victor Osimhen. And somewhat ashen-faced looking Eric Schell. He can't believe it. Nigeria could have won this right at the end of injury time. Have to question why Gabon was so wide open. Osimhen was coming from his own half. He wasn't offside. And the country as well. Collective sigh of relief maybe too. Great play by Ndidi. Perfectly measured ball. And Ejuke, the second half substitute, just picking his spot low in the corner. Maybe an unlikely hero for the Super Eagles. The Sevilla winger who'd never scored for his country before. Celebrates in style. And you have to say huge credit to the young defender Benjamin Frederick. Talk about defending on the front foot, charging forward into the opposition half of the field and giving it to Osimhen inside the box. A really superbly taken goal from such a tight angle. The Galatasaray man makes it Nigeria 3, Gabon 1. It's really hard to see Gabon coming back from this. The Nigerians have the wind in their sails. And once again he finds the corner, bringing that ball down superbly, just bulldozing his way through. Fantastic from a brilliant striker. What a response.
Osimhen 1v1. Osimhen scores!
Let's get
There's a reason he scored. Victor trying to lead Nigeria to victory. An early goal for the Super Eagles. And they are trying to show how much they want this success, trying to have excess. The fans are celebrating. Nigeria won. Benin Republic 0.
Fantastic goal by Victor Osimhen.
Well, it could be that second goal now with this cross. Victor Osimhen! He's gotten his brace. He could enjoy a warm embrace. The Super Eagles have doubled their lead. But would it be enough in this race for the World Cup?
A free kick.
Taken by the Super Eagles now. Whoa! And Victor Osimhen has gotten a hat-trick. 3 times he has scored for Nigeria. Portugal. Moses Simon from the left-hand side can square through from that territory, goes past his marker, will cross the ball in, and this could be like goal! Goal! The Super Eagles for the fourth. Let's go! And just maybe the dream of getting to the playoffs has come alive. Well, the players know that they have lost the top spot, but finishing second could still ensure that they keep dreaming. Osimhen 1v1. Osimhen scores! Let's get it. There's a reason he scored. Victor trying to lead Nigeria.
Now it's Gallagher. It's still Conor Gallagher. Gordon. Spill. Harry Kane's there. Wherever. Whenever.
But Harry Kane, we've seen him drop deep so many times to set up play, but one of the things that will never go away from his game is the fact that he stays in between the posts and he picks goals like this up. Same the other night.
I do have Jason Manford as the co-commentator. Here is Njai. On to Ghana. And Idrissa Gana Gueye is prevented by Dean Henderson. Now he's on the search again. Keeps it alive, and Ismaila Sarr's arriving. And he's beaten Kyle Walker to it. And Senegal are level. The first team to breach Thomas Tuchel's England are Senegal. Lovely ball. There goes Diarra. He's got support too. It's Diarra for Senegal, who take the lead. Senegal in control. England have got a touch green around the gills.
Been really, really good.
Here's Eze. Lovely flick to Morgan Gibbs. That's a really good save from Edouard Mendy. Straight at the goalkeeper, but he had to react.
It's on a plane as well, and he chooses Gibbs White to put his laces through it.
There's a lurking on the edge of the area as the cross comes in from Madueke. As a deliberate handball, which Stephanie Frappart is now going to have to decide, because essentially the VAR has decided that that is a subjective decision and she needs to have a look at it. Now the referee has overturned the decision. It's no goal. England are denied an equaliser because of a handball given against Levi Colwill in the build-up to Bellingham's finish. Jones has been dispossessed here, and now England have got real trouble. Amin Kamara is steaming forward. He's got Njai over on the far side, and joining is Sabali, and England have beaten the first African side to beat England. Ezra has won it back. Now it's Gallagher. It's still Conor Gallagher. Gordon. Spill. Harry Kane's there. Wherever. Whenever.
But Harry Kane, we've seen him drop deep so many times to set up play, but one of the things that will never go away from his game is the fact that he stays in between the posts and he picks goals like this up. Same the other night.
I do have Jason Manford as the co-commentator. Here is Njai. On to Ghana. And Idrissa Gana Gueye is prevented by Dean Henderson. Now he's on the search again. Keeps it alive, and Ismaila Sarr's arriving. And he's beaten Kyle Walker to it. And Senegal are level. The first team to breach Thomas Tuchel's England are Senegal. Lovely ball. There goes Diarra. He's got support too. It's Diarra for Senegal, who take the lead. Senegal in control. England have got a touch green around the gills.
Been really, really good.
Here's Eze. Lovely flick to Morgan Gibbs. That's a really good save from Edouard Mendy. Straight at the goalkeeper, but he had to react.
It's on a plane as well, and he chooses Gibbs White to put his laces through it.
Players are lurking on the edge of the area as the cross comes in from Madueke. Ball's coming for Bellingham. Jude Bellingham there to rescue England again. His action as a deliberate handball, which Stephanie Frappart is now going to have to decide, because essentially the VAR has decided that that is a subjective decision and she needs to have a look at it. The referee has overturned the decision. It's no goal. England are denied an equaliser because of a handball given against Levi Colwill in the build-up to Bellingham's finish. Jones has been dispossessed here. Now England have got real trouble. Amin Kamara is steaming forward. He's got Njai over on the far side, and joining is Sabali, and England have beaten the first African side to beat England. Ezra has won it back. Now it's Gallagher. It's still Conor Gallagher. Gordon. Spill. Harry Kane's there. Wherever. Whenever.
But Harry Kane, we've seen him drop deep so many times to set up play, but one of the things that will never go away from his game is the fact that he stays in between the posts and he picks goals like this up. Same the other night.
I do have Jason Manford as the co-commentator. Here is Njai. On to Ghana. And Idrissa Gana Gueye is prevented by Dean Henderson. Now he's on the search again. Keeps it alive, and Ismaila Sarr's arriving. And he's beaten Kyle Walker to it. And Senegal are level. The first team to breach Thomas Tuchel's England are Senegal. Lovely ball. Away goes Diarra. He's got support too. It's Diarra for Senegal.
Into the final quarter of an hour of normal. 0-0 between Nigeria and Gabon. The World Cup dream can stay alive for only one of these teams at the end of this game today, but it may well require extra time, even penalties. Now then, this could be the chance for the Nigerians, gifted to them. And they've taken it. Akor Adams turning the ball in. It's a disaster for Gabon. And the Super Eagles are ahead. Oh, horrible, horrible moment for Aaron Apindangoye for Gabon. And all credit to Akor Adams for keeping a cool head in that situation. Well, there was no pressure whatsoever on the defender here. He had a bit of time, too much time in the end to make his mind up. And just playing that ball into the danger zone, leaving the goalkeeper completely stranded, and the Sevilla striker Akor. The gesture to point out that he was beaten by the deflection. Just a hopeful long ball forward. It came off the head of Osai Samuel. And there's the shot from Mario Lemina, one of Gabon's most experienced players. Mario Lemina again. Aubameyang. He's given that away. Maybe an opportunity for Nigeria to break. Osimhen running through on goal in the 12th minute of stoppage time. Victor Osimhen to win it. He's put it wide. Well, he's not been his usual self in the second half, Victor Osimhen. And somewhat ashen-faced looking Eric Schell. He can't believe it. Nigeria could have won this right at the end of injury time. Have to question why Gabon was so wide open. Osimhen was coming from his own half. He wasn't offside. And the country as well. Collective sigh of relief maybe too. Great play by Ndidi. Perfectly measured ball. And Ejuke, the second half substitute, just picking his spot low in the corner. Maybe an unlikely hero for the Super Eagles. The Sevilla winger who'd never scored for his country before. Celebrates in style. And you have to say huge credit to the young defender Benjamin Frederick. Talk about defending on the front foot, charging forward into the...
The Seleção of Brazil and the Teranga Lions of Senegal face off at the Emirates Stadium in London this evening, November 15, in an international friendly, as the Brazilians are seeking to respond to their shock loss to Japan last month, and Senegal are hoping to also extend their impressive winning streak as they prepare for the African Cup of Nations in Morocco in December. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good evening and you're welcome to our live commentary coverage of this big international friendly between Brazil and Senegal. My name is Olale Adigun and you're live on our vivxsports YouTube channel for the coverage of this big game. Timiowa here is here for company as always. But first things first, big thank you to everyone who's joined this broadcast already. I mean, before we came on here, a big thank you, and we're hoping that you can tell your friends more that, hey, we've got Brazil, Senegal coming your way. Remember to subscribe to our channel. We love that. Remember to also recommend our channel to your friends as well and tell them that this is where we bring you the very best of African football. We've been busy last couple of days, right? And we've been reeling off the fact that the Super Eagles have taken another step towards qualifying for the FIFA World Cup in 2026. We brought you live commentary coverage of that CAF FIFA World Cup playoff game between the Super Eagles and the Panthers of Gabon. And after that, we also brought you the action from the second semi-final at the El Barid Stadium in Rabat between the Leopards of DR Congo and the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon. We all know how that went down, and we know what is coming our way tomorrow. And VIV Exports will be bringing you the live coverage of that all-important CAF FIFA World Cup playoff tomorrow between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Leopards of DRC. Timmy, good evening. Welcome to this fantastic game that we've got on our hands. How have you been?
Very good, Olale. It's happy times for me. Because the Super Eagles are making me very happy.
Oh, yeah?
Because like it or not, we still have chances to still go to North America next year for the World Cup. It's a pity that we ought to be playing friendlies just like Brazil today and the Senegal, who are already through to the World Cup for next year. But then again, it's still happy times.
But we actually cancelled our friendlies, remember? We're supposed to play Colombia and Venezuela.
We had to.
Yeah.
Or do we prefer to go and play?
Oh, no.
Definitely. We had to cancel them on Ali. But it's good to be here again, definitely on VIVX Sports to talk and also run commentaries on live football.
All right, we'll get to this game shortly. The lineups are out, but I just want to quickly have your early take out of tomorrow's important final. Nigeria DRC. It's very rare to see Nigeria face DRC.
Yep.
In fact, I'm not sure we've faced them in an internationally competitive game. We've only played in friendlies. Maybe the competitive game we played, they were not known as the DRC, they were known as Zaire, and that was way back Tunisia, 1994. But what are your thoughts? I mean, this is as big as it gets. DRC, we saw them at the last AFCON. They almost made it into the final, right? So, I mean, it's not going to be an easy game tomorrow, right?
Definitely, it's not going to be an easy one. I think they have a very technical coach in the man Sebastian Desabre, who has been fantastic. He's been on the African continent for a while. I remember, I think he was coaching Uganda at the 2022 Nations Cup. And so he's a very technical person, very tactical person. If you look at this DR Congo side, when you look at them at that Nations Cup that happened last year, they lost to the host nation just by whiskers. It was a match that they could have won, but hey, they just lost it. And they are a very compact side, a very solid side in terms of how they defend and creating chances. Yes, they can also create chances. Against Cameroon, they had the better opportunities of scoring goals. Forget the fact that Cameroon pressed them more, but then they had better chances of scoring. And scoring in that last minute also showed the reason why Nigeria should be very, very careful about them. They are a very defensive side. They can be very, very solid in their defending work. But the joy for me is the fact that the Super Eagles can score goals when they are in their mood.
We scored back-to-back four goals in back-to-back games.
And I think that's the relief for me, that no matter the kind of defense DR Congo wants to bring into that game, our boys can always deliver. The joy again for me is the fact that we have a new boy on the block who is running things, doing the dirty work for Victor Osimhen in Akko Adams. So I think I like him just the fact that he's not trying to be the goal scorer. He's not trying to force himself to be the playmaker. He's just doing those run-ins where you know that, oh, somebody's running to the wing, somebody's running to the box off Osimhen. And I just like that fact for Akko.
I won't want to sound like I'm overhyping that boy, but I think that for the first time in a long while, maybe not too long, maybe last 5 years, haven't seen a player as technically adept as Akko Adams. And
fantastic.
We've known about this boy for a while, though, but injuries didn't just... he played on the 20, the Flying Eagles, but injuries have not allowed him to really progress. Hopefully he gets a clean run. He's enjoying himself at Sevilla. You could see he was not running into lanes where Victor Osimhen was running to.
Understand?
He finally dovetailed with Victor Osimhen, and we hope that we can see more of that tomorrow against DRC. Now let's get back to this game. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also call in live. You can see the numbers right there on your screen. +2348136197658. You can call us on mobile. You can also call us on WhatsApp as well. We're live right here on vivxsports for the game between Brazil and Senegal. Now let's get into the form book of those two sides, starting with the former African champions, that's Senegal. And we know that they did well in World Cup qualifying. They qualified automatically by progressing past DR Congo. And you remember that game that almost sealed it for them? They came from 2-0 down.
Definitely.
To beat DR Congo away from home.
And it was thanks to Papa Matassa, who was on goal scoring form that very day. I think for the Senegalese, you have to give it to them. They are a side that is very informed on the African continent. I like the fact that they've been showing it over and over again. At the Nations Cup, they just couldn't show their mettle. I think they lost out in the knockout stage, early on in the knockout stage. But the Senegalese team, they've been continuing to show that form. Even when they lost their coach, they've brought in Papetior, who is still doing that work for them, making sure that the nitty-gritty of that team, the crux of that team is still the solid base of defense, the solid midfield, and also when they have the opportunity to attack, they also get that opportunity to attack. Sadio Mane has always been their shining light, but his light is, I wouldn't say it's dwindling away or it's fading out, but then again, you just have to say he's not that star man. They're expected to score plenty of goals.
He scored again last month against South Sudan and Mauritania.
Definitely, but you look at how they are scoring goals, it's shared abroad. It's from the Crystal Palace player, Ismail Sarr, to Pape Ndiaye. So the spread of goal is no longer on just Manisane, Sadio Mane. It's now on almost all the attacking players, the forwards, the midfielders, and even the defenders are even going forward to score goals. So for the Senegalese, I think they are enjoying their best time at this point in time in terms of international football. And let's not even forget, some couple of years ago, they were winning the under-17s, the under-20s, and the under-23 competition. So they have a very bright future for them.
All right, and don't forget, Senegal are unbeaten in their last 5, but same can't be said of their opponents. That's Brazil, who have only won 3 from the last 5. Let's take a look at their form book. They lost the Clásico to Argentina 4-1. That was March earlier this year. They also played Ecuador in the goalless draw. Brazil, they beat Paraguay as well. Beat Chile, and Bolivia beat them in La Paz. As a matter of fact, Brazil suffered 6 defeats in World Cup qualifying, but still found a way to qualify automatically, I think, in 5th place. That's been one of their worst finishes in World Cup qualifying. And have you seen the conversation that the Italians have been having the last couple of days?
I think it was running by
General Gattuso, saying that, see, Italy about to lose only 1 game, but will have to go through the playoffs. But Brazil, who lost 6 games, have automatically qualified for the World Cup. Where do you stand on that?
I think he has a point. He has a point, Olawale, because if you look at it critically, the nations that have won the World Cup in South America are just Brazil, Uruguay, and maybe Argentina. You look at the European scene, you have France, you have Germany, you have England, you have Spain. And so they have better prospects of teams even going as far as possible in the competition. Portugal, Belgium, talk about the other teams that are in there, Czechia, and the rest of them. It's just a pity that the Brazilians, or more or less the South Americans, have more slots, because you look at the only 10 nations competing for 6 slots and 7 for a playoff. For me, it's not balanced. I feel what General Gattuso is saying is that, hey, as an Italian, you've won the World Cup. You are supposed to have a better edge of qualifying for the World Cup. Yes, they have. I think the Europeans have the highest slots in terms of allocations.
Oh, they always do,
16. But then again, Olawale, when you check out the countries that have won the World Cup from Europe, they are more than the countries that have won the World Cup in Brazil or in South America.
To me, I mean, I'm going to knock you out with this. I don't think that there's an argument here because, see, Italy are complaining, but can Italy comfortably qualify from South America if they are thrown into that group? That's number one.
I'm not even saying whether you want to throw them in South America. It's the number of games.
The second one,
the number of games you have to play.
How is Italy unable to qualify from a group that has Moldova, Estonia, Israel, and Norway? It's a shame on them. If former world champions have not been able to qualify from this group, Brazil, credit to them, they've played difficult games. Even Bolivia, who are going to the intercontinental playoffs, beat them at the high altitude de La Paz. I'm not sure Italy will be able to really do well in some circumstances.
We have to also take into consideration that football at this point in time, everybody's trying to improve their game. And I don't think that some of these nations that you mentioned, Israel gave them a tough time. Norway in their group is also topping
but I'm telling you that Italy, when it comes to their football pedigree, Norway have not been to the World Cup since when? 1998.
Yes.
Italy are multiple World Cup champions. I'm saying that Italy on a good day should be easily strolling past Norway, Israel, Estonia, Moldova.
Yeah, you might be right.
In fact, Italy have not gone to the last two World Cups. But what are we saying?
The same theory you're applying to Italy can also be said about Brazil. If they were in Europe, maybe they won't be going to the World Cup. Because now that they increased the number of allocations slots to them, so I think 7. It used to be 5.
But to me, let's be very honest here. If you put Brazil in a group that's got Israel, Estonia, Moldova, the
Brazil that could not beat Japan.
No, I'm just saying. Let's be very honest.
They might not qualify because they have about 19
you put Brazil
matches.
in a group that's got Luxembourg and Liechtenstein. You think they're not going to qualify?
They might not qualify. With the way they played at the South American football competition or the South American qualifiers, they were playing teams that are lesser than them and losing.
The way the World Cup qualifiers have always been structured in Europe, especially, it is structured for most times the big team to always qualify.
Yes,
I'm taking a look at the groups. Let's take a look at in Group A. Germany are the big team. They're about to qualify. In Group B, Switzerland are a big team. Sweden have not been able to find their marbles. Switzerland are about to qualify. Denmark in Group C. France in Group D. Spain in Group E. Portugal. See, the way it is structured, it is a big team against some of the lesser lights. There's no way you don't qualify. So I think it is a shame on Italy that they are really struggling. They will go through the playoffs if they do qualify.
But Brazil also struggled to qualify.
Oh, yeah. But
that's the same point I'm making.
Now, let's quickly take a look at the lineups. I think that if you are watching, would love to hear your thoughts on this one. Do you think General Gattuso has got a point that maybe Europe should be getting more spots? Although I also believe that sometime, I think it was just changed recently, even second place, the best second place team in the European qualifiers always automatically qualified for the World Cup before now. That has changed. All right.
And I think that's what he's complaining about.
Oh, yeah. That's
that
quickly.
They can't qualify
and that's it on your screen there. That's Norway, who have not automatically qualified yet, but Italy would need to beat them by at least 8 clear goals to really make something happen. And Norway, led by Erling Haaland's goals, they are set to qualify.
7 games they've played, they've gotten 18 points, telling you that they've only lost 1 game.
No, I agree that they've only lost 1 game.
That's the point.
The difference.
How many games did Brazil lose? Brazil lost as much as 5 games.
But we're still saying the same thing. It's an easy group for Italy to qualify.
Yeah, you might think so.
Yeah, Italy should, if possible, come to South America.
Really?
It's crazy there. It is crazy.
I don't know how you say it's crazy.
You know the year Brazil last won the World Cup?
Check out Brazil. They lost 6 games and are still going to the World Cup.
That is because in that confederation there are only 10 teams.
And because they play themselves home and away.
Yeah,
they don't travel as far as the Italians might even travel.
No. It's Europe,
South America is South America.
Europe is Europe. With Eurostar.
But then you play home and away. The same team you've always been meeting every now and then.
The toughest route to the FIFA World Cup is always in CONMEBOL. Yeah, it's always the toughest route.
I don't think so, Olawale.
Very tough because
I can categorically tell you that these teams here, the 10 teams in the South American League or in the South American continent, we have the normal and always specific team that are always qualifying for the World Cup.
Every game
Argentina will always qualify. Colombia will most likely qualify. Brazil will most likely qualify. Paraguay will most likely qualify. Chile, yes, sometimes they come. We know these countries that will always qualify. But when you switch this same category of qualifiers to the European scene or to the African
what you're not realizing here is that these are all the countries in South America is South America.
Europe
is Europe.
Why are they having more slots? That's the question. Why are they having more slots?
You still don't get me. What I'm saying here is that South America as a continent is a very big continent, but fortunately they've got only 10 countries. Europe, in fact, do you think Europe is bigger than South America?
I agree with you totally that yes, continent-wise, it's a big continent. It's wider. The reach is wider and the rest of it. But why are they having
other countries, South America, they will not participate in that kind of understand. Why is every country there?
Why are they having more slots?
Because it is. Remember that they didn't have more slots. They had 5 before.
5, yes, so 5
automatic. They had 5 before, but because the World Cup has been expanded, they still get one to go to the intercontinental playoffs.
Oh, please.
And Europe also has gotten theirs as well.
From 10 countries.
Do you know how many countries are about to qualify from Europe?
16.
Yeah, exactly.
Out of 53 or 54
or 48.
No, 53.
No. It's 48. The World Cup is a 48 team.
Okay, 48 teams.
So they still get the
countries qualifying from Europe are 16 teams from 53 countries.
We'll come
in
back
Africa,
to this conversation.
In Africa, we have 54 countries and we only have 9 automatic slots. It's not balanced.
The question is in your 54 African countries, how many of them are playing competitive football? Really? Even during the qualifiers, one of them still dropped out. That even allowed us to qualify.
Cabo Verde is going to the World Cup, Olawale.
Yeah,
tell me something about
that. And that is because the World Cup has been expanded.
Yes, Olawale, and that's the joy we want to see, that more continents with more countries, you have better opportunities. You have more countries going to the World Cup than South America, who has only 10. North America, by the way, they have over 33 countries playing, even though you want to call them islands.
Anyways, let's quickly take a look at the lineup because kickoff is upon us real quick. And let's see how both teams line up. For Brazil, we've got Carlo Ancelotti as manager. Edison Moraes starts at goal. Alexandro is our left back. Gabriel Marquinhos, the centre back. And Eder Militao will be playing at right back this evening at the Emirates. Casemiro, Bruno Guimaraes, Rodrigo, Estevao, Willian, and Vinicius plus Marcus Cunha complete our Brazil lineup. For the Teranga Lions of Senegal, managed by Pape Thiaw, this is how they are lining up for the game. Edward Mendy in goal. There's Jacobs, there's Niakate, Koulibaly, there's Mendy, there's Idrissa Gueye, there's Pape Gueye, it's Pape Matar, Iliman Ndiaye, and also Sadio Mane. That's how the Teranga Lions are lined up for this game. Timi, what are your expectations? Brazil, their last friendly game, we saw they capitulated, led 2-0, but Japan came back and won that game 3-2. Are you expecting a reaction from Ancelotti's side?
Yeah, a big one at that. For some of the players who are returning to the squad again, you have to say Vinicius Junior still has a lot to prove for the Brazilian national team. He's starting today's game. You would expect that he will deliver for them in terms of goals. The only worry for me about Brazil is the fact that sometimes their defense can just be very, very calamitous. In terms of how they defend or in terms of how they organize themselves in that defensive block. You look at that game against Japan, the last friendly they played, they were 2-0 up, and you begin to wonder what happened. How did it end up them losing that game by as much as 3 goals against the Japanese side? But again, these are friendly games. But when you look at the history of Brazil, how they qualify for the World Cup, their run up to the qualifiers, they've not been fantastic. They have a couple of players that are very, very fantastic players doing well for their clubs. Vinicius, like I mentioned. Rodrigo is not even starting this game to tell you how bad it is for him. They have the likes of Richarlison also, who is still on the bench. So it's a lot of star players who are doing very well, maybe in their clubs, but then when it comes to that national team, they're not really doing well. Sometimes I watch this Brazilian side and I begin to reminisce of the old long Brazilian side when you have the likes of Rivaldo, Ronaldo, Kaká, and even Ronaldinho. You know that they are going to score goals. You know that they are going to beat you to it. But this sets of players, they don't just bring that hope. They don't give us that feeling that they can beat teams by as much as 3-4 goals and not concede. That's the worry for me. But on the long run, you have to look at them, how far they can go in terms of the World Cup, whether they can do the magic they've brought in Carlo Ancelotti, who is trying to do managerial work in terms of manage players, egos, and the rest of them. He's not a tactical man in terms of, hey, let's play tactical, well, let's do this tactically. No, he's always going for man management and also making sure that the players enjoy their freedom on the pitch of play. But having said all of this, I expect a very good match here against the Senegalese. I think the last time they met, also Senegal beat them in the friendly they played. But this is just preparation towards the World Cup. The Brazilians want to stretch their legs, test themselves. Carlo Ancelotti want to see more of the players, the ones that he believes that he can take to the World Cup. I think this friendly will really give him the opportunity to still test some of those players. But for the Senegalese, it's still a match for them to just still prepare themselves also for the World Cup. They already know who they are taking to the World Cup. They know the players who will be on that flight to North America next year. This is just a test game just to make sure that they are using this international window to blend together and also have that communion together as players. But all in all, it's a friendly we want to watch and enjoy. Hopefully, Brazil come out to play good football here today.
All right, the glamour friendly at the Emirates is about to kick off for Brazil and Senegal. We're going to take a very quick break just to get a sip of water. And when we come back, we get straight into the action right here on vivxsports. We'll be right back in a jiffy.
To victory! An early goal for the Super Eagles! And they are trying to show how much they want this success, trying to have excess. The fans are celebrating. Nigeria won, Benin Republic nil.
Fantastic goal by Victor Osimhen.
It could be that second goal now with his cross. Victor Osimhen! He's gotten his brace. He could enjoy a warm embrace. The Super Eagles have doubled their lead. But would it be enough in this race for the World Cup?
A free kick.
Taken by the Super Eagles now.
Whoa!
And Victor Osimhen has gotten a hat-trick. 3 times he has scored for Nigeria. Goal. Moses Simon from the left-hand side can square through from that territory. Goes past his ball in, and this could be that goal! The Super Eagles for the fourth.
Let's go!
And just maybe the dream of getting to the playoffs has come alive. Well, the players know that they have lost the top spots, but finishing second.
Who take the lead? Senegal in control. Ezra has won it back. Now it's Gallagher. It's still Conor Gallagher. Gordon. Spill. Harry Kane's there. Wherever. Whenever.
But Harry Kane, we've seen him drop deep so many times to set up play, but one of the things that will never go away from his game is the fact that he stays in between the posts and he picks goals like this up. Same the other night.
I do have Jason Manford as the co-commentator. Here is Njai. On to Ghana. And just to Ghana Gay is prevented by Dean Henderson.
Welcome back, and it's Brazil reciting the national anthem ahead of this fixture. Still not kickoff yet. Senegal already had done this. But while we await kickoff, Timi, your thoughts on the continued absence of Neymar in that Brazilian national team?
I don't know the rationale he would want to use to go to the World Cup. Because Neymar is not in top form. That's the honest truth and bitter truth. I want to see
him
him
in top shape.
Yeah, maybe top shape. Form, say temporary. Same of same. I feel that he's a player who really needs to step up his game in terms of playing for the national team. He's made his name in a way outside of Brazil, even in Brazil, but for the national team, I don't think he is there yet at this point in time. And for Carlo Ancelotti, like he said he has his number. If he wants him, he will definitely invite him to the national team. But for me personally, I feel Neymar really needs to step up his game if he wants to really get to the World Cup.
Neymar needs to step up, and Ancelotti said, hey, we can't take, or we will not take any player who doesn't have the required intensity to the World Cup. And so far so good. Neymar is still not in that zone yet. All right, we are getting ready for kickoff. Brazil versus Senegal. That's the game kicking off very soon. What are players to watch out for as far as both teams are concerned?
Well, you have to watch out for. Rodrigo is even starting. I didn't know he was in starting 11, but you have to definitely watch out for Vinicius Junior. Another player I love to watch is Matheus Cunha. That player can play every part, every blade of the grass on the pitch of play. I don't know if I want to tell me as a number 10, a number 9, and 8. I don't know. He's just everywhere. Fantastic player he is. Definitely, you have to also watch out for this man in our picture right now. Gabriel Magalhaes, solid defender. Olali, let's not forget Esteval. That boy can play football. I think I really love the way he's playing football. He's not somebody who has come into the limelight and is trying to prove something to us. He's showing what he can do. Sometimes I look at him and I look at Hendrik, who plays for Real Madrid, and I can see the stark difference between the two of them. Maybe because they are not playing the same position, but then Esteval playing from the wings, the way he opens up space, the way he dribbles, the way he beats his marker, the way he gets into the box, trying to link up with his teammates. Fantastic player he is. I really applaud him. These are the players I want to watch out for. I've seen Vinicius Junior severally, I've seen Rodrigo severally, but for this Brazilian side, definitely you have to look out for that Esteval, Gabriel Magalhaes at the back, and also definitely Matheus Cunha.
All right, Matheus Cunha of Manchester United has had a wonderful start to life as Manchester United player, and he will be one player that will be hoping can light up the Emirates when the action starts very soon. And for Senegal, taking a look at what they have on the bench, and to me, I can see that Nicholas Jackson did not start this.
He's not been starting games for Bayern Munich, so what do you expect? I feel he's a striker who learned to maybe know how to sit on the bench, because like Mikel Obi said, prove us wrong that you're a deadly striker by converting 2 in 1, not converting 4 in 1. I think Nicholas Jackson is that kind of player who needs luxury of chances before he can convert 1 or 2 for any team he's playing for. But all in all, you have to look at how far he's been playing for Bayern Munich. He's not been playing regularly. He's not been able to displace Harry Kane, which I doubt he'll ever do if Harry Kane is still playing football. But like I said earlier, he is a man who needs to prove his mettle. He needs to start converting chances that he gets. It's not about you having 4 chances and scoring 1. No, you're a striker. You need to convert 2 in 1. You need to maybe even do 1 in 1 for you to be reckoned as one of the starters for a high side like Senegal.
All right, you can join our online poll. It's live on our YouTube channel. That's vivxsports. And we're asking you who wins today. So far, so good. 58% polling that Senegal will be winning tonight, and 36% have gone with Brazil, while 6% think this is going to end in a draw. So keep voting, and we'd love to know your thoughts ahead of this game. All right, it's Brazil against Argentina. Rodrigo Vinicius Junior up front, and it's the 33-year-old Sadio Mane, who plays at Al Nassr, who'll be hoping to get the goals for the Teranga Lions, as this one will get started very soon. All right, it's Carlo Ancelotti up against Papichel as well, and yep, this is a familiar ground for some of these players. It's the Emirates Stadium.
Yep.
It's the home of Arsenal, at the current Premier League leaders. So, hey, Arsenal fans will be hoping that Gabriel, who has been one of the leaders and one of the best players in the Premier League, can really make home advantage count as we get started. Brazil will get us on the way. They're playing from the right to the left of our screen. Brazil in their traditional yellow shirts and blue shorts, while Senegal are draped in all green. That's traditional for Senegal as well. Edouard Mendy in goal, former Chelsea goalkeeper, and he gets the ball out as Brazil try to find sort of an early rhythm and flow in this game. And don't forget, Brazil have also got a lot of strength in depth as well, with the likes of Gabriel Martinelli coming very much available to come off the bench. You can also look at players like João Pedro.
Yep.
I mean, on a normal day, if Brazil are playing to their full capacity, they should be considered as one of the strong favourites for the World Cup next year.
When you look at the attack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
There's Richarlison as well.
Yeah, there is Richarlison in there. They have a star-studded attack. They've always been having loads of attackers, the Brazilian side. Remember when they had Adriano, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, even had Kaká. So it's always a star-studded attacking lineup. I think the only worry for them in this in these times is their defensive nature.
All right, a very, very early sign of intent from Brazil. Vinicius Junior with an early effort, but Edward Mendy very much up to the task as Senegal will try to react to that one. Iliman Ndiaye asking for the ball, and he's got Alexandro keeping an eye on him. Iliman Ndiaye once again. He's been fouled by Alexandro, but referee says play on, despite the stern referee flagging for a foul. Lovely cutback, but no one to convert right there for Senegal. That's some end-to-end stuff in there, and Iliman Ndiaye already telling Alexandra it's going to be a long evening at the Emirates.
Gifted player for Everton, a man who can run the rings from the wings and also in the middle. He knows that dribbling sense. He has that dribbling sense. He's got that quick feet, and he's a man who can always beat his marker on the run. And let's see what he can still do in this game, because he's a man who will trouble the defense of the Brazilians.
All right, corner kick to Senegal. Ismail Jacobs takes that one, the Galatasaray left back. But it's been sent back by Brazil as Senegal continue to ask questions. Sadio Mane right now sends a cross in, but it's been blocked. Snapshot, but that's not on target. But that was close from Crystal Palace winger Ismail Assar. Senegal knocking on the door.
Absolutely, you have to say they are smelling that goal. They are believing that, hey, they can take on this Brazilian side, especially the defensive unit of the Brazil, which has not been fantastic. But that was a wayward shot that wasn't on target from Ismail Assar. Maybe he could have just controlled the ball a little bit and just maybe place his foot well on the ball and find the target. But then it was just way off mark.
Senegal starting really well, snapping at heels, pressing, and winning the ball back as soon as possible. Iliman Ndiaye once again finds Sadio Mane in midfield. Referee says play on as Vinicius Junior gets on his bike. Brazil on the break here. He finds Rodrigo. Rodrigo back to Vinicius, who is in the box right now. Looks up, sends a cross in, and that's miscued. Bottom, Brazil get close again. This is looking exciting. Matheus Cunha, the latest, to come close. Edward Mendy with a fine save. Is out for a corner kick. Timi, what an exciting start between Brazil and Senegal.
Absolutely fantastic, Olawale. End-to-end stuff here. The cross from Vinicius Junior was an enticing one for Estabao, but somehow he miscued that one. But fortunately for Matheus Cunha, the ball still came to him, and luckily for him, his shot was on target, only to be saved by the goalkeeper for Senegal.
I thought it was a save. It wasn't a save, actually. The ball hit the upright, actually.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Edward Mendy was well beaten.
Wow, I was even thinking it was a save from Edward Mendy, but it was a good ball from Cunha, who almost had that one on target. But having said all of that, you have to say, hey, the Brazilians are really looking to score goals here, just like the Senegalese are pushing forward to get the first goal too.
Both teams pushing to open the scoring in this one. Brazil once again. This is going to be very much exciting, and I do hope we get loads of goals from this game between the Lions and the Seleção. Both already have shown their intent. They've shown that they've got what it takes to hurt each other. But it's still goalless after the first 5 minutes of this one. Casemiro, one of the leaders in this team, will be hoping that he can lead this side to victory. Free kick to Brazil. Esteval will take, sends that one, it's calling one, header comes from Casemiro, but Edward Mendy up to the task.
Smooth header from Casemiro, but it was straight on to the goalkeeper, who was actually waiting for it. He didn't need to dive, he didn't need to stretch his hands, it was just straight to his hands from Casemiro's header. But you have to say the Brazilians here are really pressing the Senegalese at this point in time. I think Edward Mendy too is being shaky at the back, not really distributing the ball well. I think the Brazilians are picking up every ball he's thrown out of the 18-yard box, and now they have another chance.
Another chance, but Kalidou Koulibaly clears that one. And it's going to be out for another corner kick. Bruno Guimaraes applauding where that pass came from. The referee for today's Premier League referee, Stuart Atwell. And there's also VAR for this one, don't forget. And it's Robert Jones observing maybe there's any clear, obvious error being made, and we'll be calling the attention of Stuart Atwell. Corner kick to Brazil. It's their second of the game. Esteval takes, it's an in-swinger, but Senegal clear the alliance, is out for a throw-in. Esteval knows he should have done better with that chance to go earlier, right?
Yeah, he knows, because I don't know how he was skilled there when the ball came from Vinicius Junior. You would have expected him to put his leg, hit that ball well and put that ball on target, but then again he's miscuing and made sure that Cunha was the only one available for that rebound, but you'd have expected him to do more from that opportunity he got in the first instance.
All right, Brazil once again lining up in what's looking like a 4-2-2-2 formation. Casemiro, Bruno Guimaraes trying to protect the back four, and then you've got Esteval, Vinicius, Cunha, Rodrigo getting the license to do damage up front.
Surprisingly, you have the Militao playing from the right back.
Yeah, that's
surprising.
That's really surprising. I think it's just Ancelotti trying to shoehorn in all of his top talent into the team. Foul on Senegal, and Esteval, the culprit there. It's been very much lively in the early phase of this game. Like Timi said earlier on, he's had a great start to life at Chelsea. Prodigious talents. We were very much aware of what he was able to do with Southern in Brazil, right?
Definitely, we saw him at the Club World Cup, what he was able to do with Palmeiras. I think he's a player for the future. He's a player who is showing that talent at this point in time. All he needs to do is just to keep his head down, keep working hard, and making sure he keeps scoring the goals. I think for the fact that he's been able to get into the first team of Chelsea and playing almost regularly now tells you the story of how good he is. And when you're at Chelsea, the expectation is for you to keep scoring goals, for you to win titles, and that expectation will not be less for Esteval, even though he's new in Europe. But I like the fact that he's been able to take on the challenge himself, and he's delivering. He's not allowed the pressure to come on him, the pressure to want to impress, the pressure to want to score goal, the pressure to want to prove to people that he's a player and what his onions. So you have to give it to him that he's only doing his best at this point in time.
Still yet to get his driver's license. In fact, I had to plead with Carlo Ancelotti to go for a couple of driving lessons during the international camp. Brazil lurking around again. Vinicius Junior is got attention. Khalid Koulibaly cuts into his right hand, and what an effort, but what a save as well from Edouard Mendy.
Fantastic one from the goalkeeper. You have to say he knew that Vinicius was going to shoot that shot. He was ready for it, and luckily for him, his hands were long enough to block that shot from going in.
And that was classic. Vinicius comes from the left, cuts into his right, and Edouard Mendy was very much aware of that, positioned himself really well.
The shot was on target.
Yeah.
Maybe a pass to Rodrigo would have been better because he was better placed for another shot on target.
Eyes on the two Real Madrid front men. One getting game time, but a sort of an uneasy relationship with his manager, and the other just cannot get enough games. The story of the two Brazilians at Real Madrid. Senegal now with the ball. Looks like there's been a stamp on, I think, Matthews Cunha or Casemiro, and play will now be halted as Carlo Ancelotti looks on. What are your thoughts on Ancelotti deciding to go into international football?
Really surprising for me. I didn't see that coming, actually. But for a man who has coached every other club, coached in almost every league, talk about the German Bundesliga, the French Ligue 1, talk about Italian Serie A, where we started to know him from, the Spanish La Liga. And he's a man who has won titles in almost all these countries. So definitely country football, national team football would have been enticing to him. Maybe not the Brazilian side. You would have been thinking, hey, the Italian national team are suffering at this point in time. Maybe he could have gotten that job. But hey, the Brazilian side knew that they wanted a player or a coach who could manage their stars. See, this Brazilian side, the fact still remains that they are talented. You really do not need tactics for them sometimes. You just need them to just flow with their free-flowing ideas, free-flowing skills, free-flowing football that they want to play. And I think that's why the reason that, hey, maybe we just bring in Carlo Ancelotti to help us manage these stars. Maybe that can also do the magic for them. For Carlo Ancelotti, I feel he deserves this break, because having coached clubs like Real Madrid who are always on high demands, making sure that you go for every title every season, it was a toll on him. him. Last season, he coached Real Madrid. He couldn't win the title. He lost everything to Barcelona. So for him, I think this is a relaxation, more or less a vacation job for him, where he coaches maybe once in a while, once in 2 months or in a month, and maybe the tournaments that he will be preparing for, which is the World Cup. But all of that would make sense if Brazil go as far as the finals for next year's mundial.
Unfortunately, Brazil are also the Real Madrid of international football, aren't they?
Yeah.
Offside, Senegal. Sadio Mane caught in that offside position as Papetio looks on. Replaced Aliou Cissé as Senegal manager. Former player as well.
Yeah.
He was a striker in his days with the Teranga Lions. But they didn't get enough game time back then on the likes of Bruno Schaefer, the manager, or Bruno Metsu. Of blessed memory now.
Yeah, they have El Hadji.
Yeah, the last year of Kalilou Fadiga.
Fadiga was in there.
And we know that they stunned the world in 2002 when they beat France in the opening game. And also got to the quarterfinals of the FIFA World Cup until they lost to that Turkey side that had Hakan Sukur and the rest.
To say it's history.
Oh, yep. Gabriel has been fouled by Sadio, or beg your pardon, has been fouled by Antoine Sarr, who plays at Nice. It's an interesting backline Brazil do have in this one, I must say. Like Timi noted, Eder Militao left back. Alexandro, we used to know him back then at Juventus, right? But these days plays at Flamengo in the Brazil Serie A. Flamengo, by the way, in action against Sports Recife tonight in Brazil Serie A action. So while Brazil are playing, the Serie A continues. You can also see both sides adopting the high line. Explains why both have been caught offside a couple of times in this game. And looks like the tempo of the game seems to have reduced a bit as Senegal try to crank up some pressure here. Senegal on the left-hand side, try to build some steam. But they've gone back again. Kalidou Koulibaly now with the ball. But they lose it, but it's back with Senegal again. Sarr. Foul on Antoine Sarr. And that's Bruno Guimaraes, the Newcastle hard man.
I think the Brazilian midfield, we're really up for the task here against the strong and resilient Senegalese midfield too. Bruno Guimaraes, we're already seeing him panting, really showing his trough and also showing his work ethic in terms of demanding for the ball, going for every tackle, same as Casemiro. I think they are the solid unit for the Brazilian side in this midfield. I think the Senegalese are still struggling. They're still trying to grapple with that midfield. They took a hold of it. That's why they've not been able to breach the defensive unit of the Brazilian side so far in the last 3-4 minutes. But like I said earlier, it's a game that both sides are really attacking. None of them is trying to play some kind of defensive game. They're playing high line like you mentioned earlier, and I expect to see plenty of goals too.
All right, Senegal enjoying the share of the possession. Last minute or two. Pass from Mendy to Jacobs, the Galatasaray left back. Teammates to Victor Osimhen. Senegal still trying to prize open that Brazilian, but Brazil have to back again. Matheus Cunha on the right hand side, sends a cross in, but Edouard Mendy will collect with ease.
That was an easy ball for Edouard Mendy because the ball wasn't going out of his reach, and the man who was even targeted in the box wasn't even very close to the ball. Talking about Vinicius Junior, but a very good one in terms of how the Brazilians are marking. You see how they are chasing the ball, trying to press the Senegalese from their own half. And that tells you what Carlo Ancelotti is trying to imbibe into this Brazilian side, making sure that everybody is fighting for the ball.
Senegal trying to play their way out from the back with likes of Moussa Niakate and Jacobs. But Senegal pressing, lovely ball work from Matheus Cunha once again. Eder Militao now with the ball. Finds Estevao coming into the box on his left-hand side. Sends the ball to Casemiro. Casemiro to back to Eder Militao. Casemiro still gets the ball as Brazil also trying to find inroads in here. Downfield to Vinicius, who quickly gets in there, and Paul avoids it getting out of play. Rodrigo now the ball, dropping into those pockets of spaces. Eder Militao once again. Brazil working their way from both sides of the pitch. Lovely ball walk. It's Rodrigo once again, trying to make things happen. Finds Eder Militao on that right half space. Senegal trying to keep their composure and their shape. But lovely pass to Matheus Cunha. Sends a pass in at them. That header hits the crossbar. Senegal still remain alive. Ball remain in play. Vinicius Junior. Fantastic dribble. Gets past Sarr. It's out for a corner kick, and what a spell of pressure from Brazil.
Look, Wale, you can't watch Brazil and not be happy when you watch Brazil play football. They have skillful players. They have players who are very quick-feeted. They have players who are very skillful in their legs. That pass was everything you want from anybody crossing the ball. Pinpoint pass, but then the header just couldn't beat the goalpost from Cunha, couldn't beat the crossbar. It has already beaten Edward Mendy, but then just couldn't go in.
All right, corner kick to Brazil. Rodrigo will take. Cunha with that header that struck the crossbar. But Stuart Atwell is having a word with the Senegal captain, Kalidou Koulibaly. As Rodrigo awaits to take that corner kick, he's going to take it right away. Sends it in, it's an in swing again. But Senegal will clear through Pape Gueye. But Senegal come again. Bruno Guimaraes finds Rodrigo on the left. It's Goli Ndiaye. Back to Guimaraes. Sends a cross in. Senegal repel that once again. And it's still Pape Gueye. Brazil enjoying this spell of domination. But they need to make it count. Gabriel launched that long field pass. But that's wayward as Edward Mendy will gather that one. After that was Marquinhos.
Yeah, like Alexandro,
sorry. Senegal once again trying to build from the back. Idrissa Gueye to Jacobs at left back. Back to Moussa Niakate, the Olympique Lyon centre back. Edward Mendy sends a long punt towards Liman Ndiaye, but that's out for a throw-in as Brazil continue to try to press Senegal to submission. To me,
I think it's the high press from Brazil is really troubling the Senegalese team. They've not been able to play out from the back. Brazil are really choking them with the 3 attacking players. In fact, the 4 attacking players: Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo, Cunha, and also Estevao, making sure that they don't let them go outside of their own half. I think that's what's the advantage the Brazilians are enjoying here. And so far so good. It's been working for them. They've had more possession of the ball. They are controlling this game. They are controlling the tempo. And the Senegalese are just trying to play catch up.
Brazil's fluidity giving Senegal a lot of problems in here. Different players popping up at different spaces. Now it's Rodrigo on the left. Finds Bruno Guimaraes. Guimaraes to Marquinhos. Marquinhos, lovely pass into the pocket for Matheus Cunha. Estevao, interchange with Cunha. But they're just lacking that extra to just create the final pass. And that's what Brazil are lacking right now. But it's still early doors in this game. 20 minutes gone at the Emirates. It's a big Brazil contingent of fans taking in this one.
I think one of the worries for me for the Brazilian team is the fact that they don't have a pointsman who can be very dependable or dependent on in terms of scoring goals. You remember the days of Ronaldo. He was a pointsman who was always waiting in the box. He can make runs from the wings. But these days, what you see from this Brazilian side is Rodrigo trying to run in from the wings. Vinicius, same. Estevao, same from the other side of the wing. And it's just difficult. Cunha definitely is not a number 9, more or less a number 10. He's always roaming everywhere. So there's no pointsman in that 18-yard box who you can ball off with like you would expect. You want to see that ball off between the wingers and also the man in the box. But then it's not happening. So most of their goals or most of the attacking plays coming from the wings. Vinicius Junior running from the wings. Rodrigo trying to run from the wings to the midfield to the other wing. Estevao still on same. So it's really difficult for them to create that chance in the 18-yard box.
Alright, so Brazil have to be wary of Senegal on the break. Senegal trying to attack right now. Jacobs has been stopped by Edouard Lital. Fantastic footwork from the Real Madrid defender there. Lovely footwork.
Skillful.
Estevao fouled in there by Senegal's number 19. Azuma Nakite. And Brazil are having a great time. That was a blatant foul from the Olympique Lyon young defender on Estevao. Surprised them that Stuart Adwell has not showed him a yellow card.
Yeah. But lovely footwork from Edouard Lital for that pass too.
Yeah, to get it off Jacobs. Brazil again, Alexandro on the left. Finds Rodrigo on the inside. Rodrigo to Matheus Cunha. Lovely play from these guys. But Vinicius not able to get that pass through. Senegal on the attack now. Sadio Mane wants to send a cross in, and first time it's halfway corner kick.
Good defensive work from Magaesh. He saw the danger. Ismail Assar was running into space, left his position to close him down, and definitely you have to say he was a good thinking from the Arsenal defender to close him quickly before he could get into the box.
And this is where Brazil have to be wary of Senegal as well. The physicality from set plays. Carlo Ancelotti talked about that pre-match, that the Africans are always physical and we'll have to deal with that in this game. And set plays always a robust part of the plan, as Iliman Ndiaye will swing this one in. Corner kick's taken, but Brazil deal with it. Will we have another corner kick? Ndiaye chooses to keep it inside. So finds Idrissa Gueye. Idrissa Gueye back to Nakate, but something is wrong. I think it's offside. Yes, our signals that there was offside in the mix there, as a play will continue from Blas Edison. Sends a pass to Alexandro. Brazil very much on top here. The goal just lacking. Hit the crossbar and the uprights in the first 2 and 3 minutes of this game. Oh, Jared Gillett is our referee. Actually, I was misled by the FIFA preview though. It's cost 2 hours. Now Brazil on the prowl. Matheus Cunha has been repelled by Kalidou Koulibaly, the former Chelsea and Napoli defender, who Aurelio De Laurentiis quoted for about £100 million. But now he's enjoying his football in the Middle East with Al Hilal, right then the Saudi Pro League. Brazil once again coming through with Estevao. Sends that pass to Vinicius, but that's just not too much. Just too much. Timmy, what do you think is lacking with Brazil right now?
I think they are still playing sideways football, horizontal football. They need to be vertical in the attack if they want to score a goal here. So many passes coming to the Vinicius side, not much going to through the middle to get that goal for them. Estevao is also trying his best from the wings, but then again, when you play football from the wings, you're far away from post, you're far away from the opponent's goal post, and that's the worry for me for the Brazilian side. So many skillful players who can play from the wings, but then they need that person who can just be in that middle to receive those passes when those players make up the numbers or try to beat their marker and have the advantage over the Senegalese defense. I think the Brazilian side enjoying loads of possession, but it's still the horizontal football, the horizontal passes that's still working for them here. They need to be vertical in their attack.
If I was Pape Charles, I think I'll be worried as well as the Senegal manager. After what looked like a lively start for them, they've tailed off. They've struggled to really build from the back. As Brazil come once again, pass towards Matheus Cunha, but recovery from Kalidou Koulibaly there. It's been a game of a lot of slight tackles there, but Senegal sought themselves out and try and Mendy with that out ball, but Sadio Mane fouls Gabriel as it tries to get the ball, the pass from Mendy.
I think the referee too is allowing play to just flow here, even though we are seeing loads of cynical tackles from both sides. But then the referee is just allowing play to just continue. Koulibaly here with that hand on the face of Vinicius Jr. We also saw earlier on Cunha, who was hacked down in the 18-yard box. You see Vinicius Jr. here complaining. Sadio Mane also complaining because the referee has just allowed them to just play football, even though they were hacking themselves to the ground. But it's a game to enjoy. It's a game we've seen both sides trying to attack themselves. Let's see if we can get a goal. I think the Brazilian side have been the better side so far in the first 25 minutes of this game. But then they've not just given us that goal to shout for.
Still no goal on the Emirates. And 26 minutes gone on the clock. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, vivxsports. We're bringing you the very best of African football, and the African focus is on the Teranga Lions. Definitely one of the favorites for the AFCON in Morocco, kicking off on the 21st of December. Iliman India now on the right, trying to come inside, but it's been dispossessed by a bunch of Brazilian players. Vinicius, lovely reverse pass to Rodrigo. Rodrigo has got company in Mendy. Tries to come inside, sends out shorter, but Edward Mendy once again.
That was a risky one from Edward Mendy, dropping the ball when you were already should be catching.
I thought there was nothing on that effort from Rodrigo. I think he should have held on to it.
Yeah, he should have. That's the worrying thing for me. The fact that the shot wasn't coming with so much power. Even though he was trying to place the ball, he was in your territory. You just should be catching that ball and not dropping it for your defender to play.
Brazil looking again. Esteval this time around is on target, and Brazil up on the scoring at the Emirates. What a goal from the Chelsea young star. It's Brazil 1, Senegal 0.
Fantastic goal from Esteval. Like I said before the match started, this is a man I want to watch. This is a man I would love to sit and watch in terms of playing football. He's done it again from the right wing with his left leg, placing the ball with power and pace, making sure that Edward Mendy had no chance to pick that ball. It was here and there for the Senegalese. They were more or less at 6 and 7 in terms of their defending here. But we saw the Brazilian side switch play from the left side to the right side, trying to get that vertical ball into the 18-yard box. But then it was a loose ball for Esteval, who just latched onto him with his left-footed shot and placing it into the bottom corner for Brazil's first goal here. A fantastic one. Maybe a mistake also from the defender who tried to clear away that ball from Casemiro's pass. But then again, I think it was Nyakate there trying to play in that or trying to defend that pass from Casemiro, who deflected the ball to the man Esteval.
And that finish had everything. Power, pace, placement. There's no Edward Mendy stopping that one as Esteval makes up for that earlier miscue. It's Brazil in the lead at the Emirates, and to me, they are full value for the lead.
Absolutely. Like we said, they've been the team with the upper hand here in the first 26-27 minutes of this first half. Definitely for a goal that they've scored now, it shows that yes, he's been working hard to get the ball back in the final third or the first third of the Senegalese defense. In the half of the Senegalese defense, they've gotten a goal. Now they can still go for more.
Will this open the floodgates for Brazil or Senegal? Will they react? Reaction they get. It's a corner kick to Brazil as Bruno Guimaraes stops Jacobs in his tracks. Jacobs gets to the byline. He's trying to get that cross in, but Bruno Guimaraes in classic, brutal style.
And you can see him pumped up.
And he's pumped up, is celebrating that block. And I love when players do that.
Yeah.
Really do love it.
He's showing that, hey, you guys want to come physical, we're ready for you.
Senegal with the corner kick now. It's the left back, Jacobs, will be taking down. The two guys, Papa Matasar, all in the box. But Brazil have very much dealt with the corner kicks from Senegal. They've never been in danger. Senegal are trying to get back into this war.
I think the worrying thing for the Senegalese side is the fact that they don't have somebody who can control the midfield for them. I would have preferred Ndiaye playing in that midfield, but then he's always running to the wings, running to the sidelines, and the ball has not been getting to him as much as you would have wanted it to. But then we have to also give credit to the Brazilian side, who have been pressing really hard in terms of trying to recover the ball when they don't have it.
Sadio Mane finds Gay, but Pape Gay has been bodied away from the ball as Brazil on the counter. It's 3 against 3 here. Vinny with the ball. Let's go. Khalid Koulibaly trying to go to his right, but he's been dispossessed. He knows he should have done better there.
Yeah, he was slow in thinking there. He was trying to make his choice, but then he wasn't fast with his decision making.
Senegal will try to come forward. Idrissa Gueye finds Ndiaye on that left-hand side. Sorry, right-hand side. Ball to Mendy. Mendy sends that cross in, but Eder Militao sends it back. A decent spell of pressure coming from Senegal. Now on the left-hand side. Lovely reverse pass, but looks like Eder Militao will shepherd that out for a goal kick. And he does that gleefully.
I think the Brazilians they're beginning to now just go back and try to recover their breath from that first pressing they did in the first 20-30 minutes. Now the Senegalese know they've conceded, the Brazilians know they've scored a goal. They are now very much relaxed in terms of how they want to press. They are allowing the Senegalese now have maybe the ball in their own half. But let's just still see what develops in this game, because the Brazilian side still looks like a team that can score more goals.
I think there's something wrong with Senegal up front. They're not getting the mix really right.
Yeah.
I mean, we know Ismaila Sarr is a menace from the right side at Crystal Palace. We know Iliman Ndiaye is more from the middle, like you said. But I think that Pape is probably trying to accommodate Sadio Mane into the team, playing him more centrally. We know that he doesn't have the legs anymore. Yeah. He's 33 these days.
And we've not seen more of him in this game. We hardly see him with the ball.
All right, but we're seeing a lot of Brazil, but that's Brazil being slow on the ball there, and Senegal get it back, but Brazil win that one back and through Casemiro. Free kick to Brazil.
The funny thing is the Brazilians have just 2 midfielders in that middle, Casemiro and Bruno Guimaraes. But yet the Senegalese are not taking advantage of it with Ismaila Sarr, Sadio Mane, and even Iliman Ndiaye. You begin to wonder what really they want. Maybe the supply from the middle also is not really coming forth. But I think the Brazilians have dominated this game so far. From the defense to the midfield to the attack, they've been everywhere, all over the Senegalese. And the Senegalese are just playing catch-up here.
Utter domination from the yellow and blue. But there's a lot of expectation from Brazilian football fans. They want to see their country win the World Cup again. They haven't won it since 2002 in Asia, Korea and Japan. Since then, they've not been able to get to another final. That's how bad it's been. For one of the most successful nations in World Cup history.
Even when they hosted it, they were expecting to get to the finals, but Germany showed them that, hey, no.
Remember the Battle of Minnerazal, when they were thrashed.
Humble.
Still gives them a lot of PTSD.
And the reason was Neymar didn't play, that's why.
Rodrigo has been fouled, and Jared Gillett signals for a free kick. It's and you're going to see probably a couple of technicians stand over this one, but that's some good pass to find Rodrigo in the middle, and he's been sandwiched in there by Pape, by Idrissa Gueye and Khalid Koulibaly, and he wins that free kick. Timmy, how many yards are we looking at here?
I need to see again, because I really need to see, I think about 30 yards out, if not more.
And like I said, you get the technician standing over this one. I can see Rodrigo standing on it. Esteval also as well. Very young talent, Esteval. And Chelsea have got something in the end, and I think the Premier League have got a boy who's going to terrorize defenses.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Rodrigo's going to take this one. Lovely pass to find them. And that's in the net. It's 2-0 Brazil.
Easy.
Casemiro.
This was too easy, man.
Very, very easy. Easy peasy for Brazil. But Jared Gillett having a word with the VAR, but looks like this one will count as Carlo Ancelotti is already giving out instructions to Bruno Guimaraes on the sidelines. Is Brazil 2-0 over Senegal?
I think Koulibaly is trying to get from the referee whether it's an offside call. I don't know if that was an offside, but there it was a well-calculated pass from Rodrigo to find Casemiro all alone. Nobody are trying to stop him, and he just still balanced well to placing that shot into the corner. It was
and Senegal's lack of awareness once again. Nobody picking on Casemiro, receives the pass, and it took his time in there. Lovely control, and before Koulibaly tries to get close to the Manchester United midfielder.
I think when he tripped here was when he just couldn't block Casemiro's shot from going in. Look at it here. When he tripped, when he was trying to just clear the ball before he could get to Casemiro, he just couldn't recover to stop that ball. And clean goal, easy peasy for the Brazilian for the second goal here.
Good finish from Casemiro, who is in a rich vein of form. But play hasn't restarted yet, and there's going to be a goal check by VAR to check if Casemiro was in an offside position. So it's going to be a slight wait here.
I think Kalidou Koulibaly will be praying now that he's proven right. Casemiro was offside, but then the replay we've seen shows that he wasn't. He was really onside when that ball came in, and Koulibaly should be blaming himself for not kicking that ball out before he could get to Casemiro.
So the goal check continues. Still no word yet from VAR, as Jared Gillett is having a word or two with some of the players. The center of the pitch. Papicho also looks on, and he knows that this could be a crucial part or crucial moment in this game, because he could just grant them reprieve if the goal is chalked off. Still gives them a chance, but 2-0. It's almost game set match here at the Emirates.
Yeah, 2-0 will be a clear task for you to come back to, even though we've seen Brazil, their last friendly against Japan, leading by as much as 2 goals, but then losing that one 3-2 at the end of 90 minutes. So it's still a game that the Senegalese can still come back to if they can get that goal before halftime or even early on in the second half. But let's see and wait to check out what the VAR officials have decided.
All right, looks like the check is over, and Jared Gillett having a word with the 2 captains, that's Marquinhos and Kalidou Koulibaly. Looks like the goal will stand. And yes, it does.
I don't think there was a question about it. I think it's just Koulibaly trying to create a force. Yeah, I think maybe he's trying to cover for his lapses in terms of defending that goal. But then again, replays we've seen shows that Casemiro was onside when that ball came in. I think it was Koulibaly's fault that he couldn't clear the ball, he couldn't get to the ball, and his stripping also made it very easy for Casemiro to slot that in.
Collectively, I thought that they didn't defend that situation really well, because Casemiro once again was very much free behind that Senegalese defense. Nobody picked him up, and he controls that cross from Esteval.
Yeah, there was no man marking. It was a zonal thing for the Senegalese defense, and when you do zonal marking, this is sometimes what you get.
All right, play resumes 2-0. But Brazil also be very much wary of what happened in Tokyo last month, where they took a 2-0 lead against Japan, and they snoozed off and lost that game 3-2. The shocking result. That was actually Japan's first ever win over Brazil in history, and they did it in fine style. Talk about Japan. They also beat another African team that has qualified for the World Cup. That's the Black Stars of Ghana, 2-0. That was in Toyota yesterday. Ritsu Duan and Takumi Minamino with the goals. Senegal trying to get back into it. Long ball towards Sadio Mane. It's going to be out for a throw-in. Pape Matasai is asking for a free kick, but not sure he's going to get it. Brazil looking very, very much comfortable. It's a partisan crowd, actually. I mean, it's an Emirates Stadium filled mostly with Brazilians cheering the team on. All thanks to the huge Brazilian community right there in London.
And they have so many Brazilians to cheer for in London.
Oh, definitely. A lot of them.
Richarlison, Gabriel Martinelli, Gabriel Magalhaes, Esteval for Chelsea. Loads of them, actually.
Idris again, now with the ball, trying to get some creativity. I mean, Senegal are lacking in that.
I think the creativity in that midfield is what is lacking for the Senegalese here, because every time they've gotten the ball, they're trying to play to the wings or trying to stomp it forward in terms of area ball, and it's not been working. You just have to look at the Senegalese side and just say they need to do more in terms of how they work their way from the midfield. Even their wingers are not really doing much in terms of trying to get the ball into the box. We saw it earlier on when the match started with Liman and Diaye, but then after that we've not seen much of it from them. But you have to also give credit to the Brazilians who are going all the way, making sure that anybody having the ball who is not Brazilian, they're trying to close him down and make sure he doesn't get the ball into their box.
Free kick to Senegal. Looks like Eder Militao was that foul, and Jacobs is going to take that free kick. Probably Edison will have something to be worried about. Still not been called to action. So far, so good in this game by Senegal. Jacobs had to whip this one in. Oh, that's an abominable effort.
That was a waste.
From the Galatasaray left back.
That was a waste of a shot from Jacobs. Sometimes I don't know what these players think when they have free kicks from that distance. Maybe they just have this idea that they can always score. But a pass like this could have just done good for Senegal.
And you can see once again, nobody picks up Casemiro on the replay.
Yep.
Nobody picks him up. And he has the freedom of the seat. He's lost the ball in. Edouard Mendy is helpless. Koulibaly is trying to recover, but he stumbles while even trying to do that one.
I think there was a block there from Eder Militao on the player. If we can see that replay again, hopefully. But then again, the goal for Casemiro definitely stood, so definitely it's a goal for them.
Papic will be worried right now, like I said, when it's a far cry from the performance against the Three Lions of England. And Brazil very much comfortable in this game. You're probably going to see some Jogo Bonito, right? We'll be seeing glimpses of that.
Yep.
Some trickery, lovely pass from Matheus Cunha, but what a block come from Antoine Mendy.
I think the skill to be able to go in between players is just wonderful to see from Matheus Cunha. Look at the way he glided through.
Glides, yeah.
The Senegalese defense, making sure he still had the space to put in the pass, to still get a corner. Tells you a whole lot about the Senegalese side and how bad they've been in this first half defending against the Brazilians.
Brazil have looked very much fluid and dynamic against Senegal, who have been clueless on how to handle them. Corner kick, whipped in. A moment of uncertainty right there for Senegal as they try to clear the lines. Ball still very much in play with the Brazilians. It's Rodrigo, sandwiched up with about 3 Senegal players. It's going to be out for another corner kick, I think.
Yep. Serious pressing.
And basically, Brazil are showing that they can mix it up if Senegal will come physically.
Yeah.
They're showing that we can also match it up with the physicality as well.
We're seeing it here, and it's evident that Casemiro, I think the referee has changed his mind. It's no longer corner, but Casemiro and also Bruno Guimaraes in midfield, they've been very solid in terms of how physical they are in terms of defending.
All right, Senegal on the break now. Ismail Assar sends this lovely pass towards Liman Ndiaye, but it's caught by Gabriel. What an interception from the Arsenal man. Sarr once again seems to have picked up the tempo a bit. Game sends it back to Sarr. Sarr trying to let the cut back up, but Ghana's going to take that shot. But it's lacking power, but ball still very much and up with Senegal. Antoine Mendy with a chance there. Sadio Mane. Senegal still knocking on the door, and Brazil really struggling to clear that one. The referee says play on. But that was
there was a scramble of
of
an opportunity, plenty scramble there for just one opportunity to get that ball on target. But then the Brazilians also too strong, trying to block any kind of shot that the Senegalese wanted to pull outside of the 6-yard box. But still, the Senegalese look like they are pumped up now for this attack as Liman Ndiaye is still going forward for it.
All right, Liman Ndiaye on the right hand side finds Idris Gueye. Lovely turn from Gate, sent to the path of Ismail Assar on the other side of the pitch. Sarr comes on his inside. Is he going to go for glory? Sends that effort. Anderson with the save. But Senegal still very much with the ball here. That's much a better response from Papachio's side.
Yep.
Antoine Mendy once again. But it's been dispossessed from the back by Mendy. Foul on Jacobs. Free kick to Senegal. Much more better from Senegal.
Yeah, a better attacking play from the Senegalese right now. And you just have to say,
And there's a potential penalty check going on right now for handball.
Yeah, I think we are seeing Niakate still saying there was a handball in the 18-yard box or something like that. But the referee is still not hearing or buying his own thoughts. He's still trying to hear from the VAR room to confirm if truly there was any foul or any foul play in the 18-yard box. You still see
the players are signaling for a handball checks over. Box. There won't be a penalty.
Yep, and the referee is trying to tell them that, hey, there's only like a penalty here. I've given you a free kick. Let's just focus on that.
Senegal will have to be very much careful here. They're looking so desperate. And hope that doesn't get them into trouble with Jared Gillett. Kalidou Koulibaly has to calm his players down as the captain.
I think what the Senegalese are expecting is that the referee gives them that penalty. Yeah, but the referee has not really had that go ahead from VAR room to come and check the monitor on the pitch of play. Instead, he's sticking with his decision for a free kick.
Because VAR has not deemed it as clear and obvious.
We have not even seen the pictures the VAR have seen. We've not even seen the handball that Niakate is calling for.
But there seems to be some tussle going on between Kalidou Koulibaly and Vinicius Junior.
Yeah, he's been pumped up for this ever since that second goal went in. I think Koulibaly needs to take his time and just cool off.
Yeah.
It's just a friendly, it's a friendly match, not a serious one.
And half-time has come at the proper time. I mean, we're 2 minutes into the 2 minutes added on, and looks like this will be the last piece of action. Jared Gillett is asking for Kalidou Koulibaly and Vinicius Junior to come for a word. I would know with Vinicius Junior, you know the package, you know what you get.
He talks a lot. I think that's one of his problems. He talks a lot.
And Koulibaly is clearly not happy with something. Moussa Niakate also has joined in, having a word with Vinicius Junior. And referee is still trying to quell all of this. Trying to get Senegal set up for their free kick, which might just be a way for Senegal to get back. But they will need a brilliant piece of magic to be able to score from this distance. Half-time is upon us. 45 minutes already elapsed. 2 minutes were added on. We're already in the 3rd minute. So it's basically overtime and half-time here. Sadio Mane getting ready to take this free kick from about 30 yards as well. Free kick to Senegal. Sadio Mane sends that one straight into the wall. Iliman Ndiaye. Still the ball. He's been wrestled down by Vinicius Junior, who gets the ball off him. Alexandro. Lovely exchange of passes. But the referee now signals that it's time for the players to head into the tunnel. It's half-time at the Emirates as we see Vinicius Junior run off into the dressing room. Brazil 2, Senegal 0. Compelling game of football. Total dominance coming from Brazil. Although Senegal also have had a couple of chances, maybe half chances. Bit of a scramble with a goal line clearance after a short term from Antoine Mendy. From here it's half-time via vivxsports. Brazil 2, Senegal 0. And our half-time thoughts will be coming after this break. Don't go anywhere.
Now he's on the search again. Keeps it alive, and Ismaila Sarr's arriving. And he's beaten Kyle Walker to it. And Senegal are level. The first team to breach Thomas Tuchel's England are Senegal. It's a lovely ball. There goes Diarra. He's got support too. It's Diarra for Senegal, who take the lead. Senegal in control. England have got a touchscreen around the girls. Been really, really good. Here's Eze. Lovely flick to Morgan Gibbs. It's a really good save from Edouard Mendy. Straight at the goalkeeper, but he had to react. The
It's on a plane as well, and he chooses, gives Wale to put his laces through it.
There's a lurking on the edge of the area as the cross comes in from Madueke. As a deliberate handball, which Stephanie Frappart is now going to have to decide, because essentially the VAR has decided that that is a subjective decision and she needs to have a look at it. Well, the referee has overturned the decision, it's no goal. England are denied an equaliser because of a handball given against Levi Colwell in the build-up to Bellingham's finish. Jones has been dispossessed here. Now England have got real trouble. Amin Kamara is steaming forward. He's got Njai over on the far side. And joining is Sabali. And England have beaten the first African side to beat England. Ezra has won it back. Now it's Gallagher. It's still Conor Gallagher. Gordon. Spill. Harry Kane's there. Wherever.
But Harry Kane, we've seen him drop deep so many times to set up play, but one of the things that will never go away from his game is the fact that he stays in between the posts and he picks goals like this up. Same the other night.
I do have Jason Manford as the co-commentator. Here is Njai. On to Ghana. And Idrissa Gana Gueye is prevented by Dean Henderson. Now he's on the search again. Keeps it alive, and Ismaila Sarr's arriving. And he's beaten Kyle Walker to it. And Senegal are level. The first team to breach Thomas Tuchel's England are Senegal. There goes Diarra. He's got support too. It's Diarra for Senegal, who take the lead. Senegal in control. England have got a touch green around the gills.
Been really, really good.
Here's Eze. Robbie flicked to Morgan Gibbs. That's a really good save from Edouard Mendy. Straight at the goalkeeper, but he had to react.
It's on a plane as well, and he chooses, gives Wale to put his laces through it.
There's a lurking on the edge of the area as the cross comes in from Madueke. As a deliberate handball, which Stephanie Frappart is now going to have to decide, because essentially the VAR has decided that that is a subjective decision and she needs to have a look at it. Well, the referee has overturned the decision, it's no goal. England are denied an equaliser because of a handball given against Levi Colwell in the build-up to Bellingham's finish. Jones has been dispossessed here. Now England have got real trouble. Amin Kamara is steaming forward. He's got Njai over on the far side. And joining is Sabali. And England have beaten.
Opposition half of the field and giving it to Osimhen inside the box. Superbly taken goal from such a tight angle. The Galatasaray man makes it Nigeria 3, Gabon 1. It's really hard to see Gabon coming back from this. The Nigerians have the wind in their sails. And once again he finds the corner, bringing that ball down superbly. Just bulldozing his way through. Fantastic from a brilliant striker. What a response. Into the final quarter of an hour of normal time then. 0-0 between Nigeria and Gabon. The World Cup dream can stay alive for only one of these teams. at the end of this game today, but it may well require extra time, even penalties. Now then, this could be the chance for the Nigerians, gifted to them. And they've taken it. Akor Adams turning the ball in. It's a disaster for Gabon. And the Super Eagles are ahead. Oh, horrible, horrible moment for Aaron Apindangoye and for Gabon. And all credit to Akor Adams for keeping a cool head in that situation. Well, there was no pressure whatsoever on the defender here. He had a bit of time, too much time in the end to make his mind up. And just playing that ball into the danger zone, leaving the goalkeeper completely stranded, and the Sevilla striker Akor.
The gesture to point out that he was beaten by the deflection, just a hopeful long ball forward. It came off the head of Osai Samuel, and there's the shot from Mario Lemina, one of Gabon's most experienced players.
Mario Lemina again. Aubameyang. He's given that away. Maybe an opportunity for Nigeria to break. Osimhen running through on goal in the 12th minute of stoppage time. Victor Osimhen to win it. He's put it wide. Well, he's not been his usual self in the second half, Victor Osimhen. And somewhat ashen-faced looking Eric Schell. He can't believe it. Nigeria could have won this right at the end of injury time. Have to question why Gabon was so wide open. Osimhen was coming from his own half. He wasn't offside. And the country as well. Collective sigh of relief maybe too. Great play by Ndidi. Perfectly measured ball. And Ejuke, the second half substitute, just picking his spot low in the corner. Maybe an unlikely hero for the Super Eagles. The Sevilla winger who'd never scored for his country before. Celebrates in style. And you have to say huge credit to the young defender Benjamin Frederick. Talk about defending on the front foot, charging forward into the opposition half of the field and giving it to Osimhen inside the box. A really superbly taken goal from such a tight angle. The Galatasaray man makes it Nigeria 3, Gabon 1. It's really hard to see Gabon coming back from this. The Nigerians have the wind in their sails.
And once again, he finds the corner, bringing that ball down superbly. Just bulldozing his way through. Fantastic from a brilliant striker. What a response.
Welcome back to our live commentary broadcast of the game at the Emirates. It's the international friendly between Brazil and Senegal. It's 2-0 at the break. Goals have come from the likes of Esteval and Casemiro, as Senegal will try to get back into this one in the second half. Remember, you can call in live and share your halftime thoughts with us. The numbers at the bottom of your screen, +234 6197 658. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. We are VIVX Sports. Timi over here is still right here, bringing us some fantastic breakdown of this game. Timi, I mean, first half excited from Brazil, disappointing from Senegal. But Senegal seem to have ended the first half with a bit of energy.
Yeah.
That should give Papecho a bit of encouragement going to the second half.
Yeah, I think after considering that second goal, they came all out knowing that, hey, we now have nothing to lose. a man who is down needs fear no fall. So I think they came out in the last 2-3 minutes of that first half, and we're trying to get that one goal back. We saw that scramble just before when they got the free kick that made the referee had to wait to hear from VAR whether it was a penalty or not. I think the undoing for the Senegalese was the fact that they started very well, but the Brazilians also measured up to their good start in terms of how they put intensity in marking the ball from the Senegalese half. I think that's what helped the Brazilians in that first half for majority part of that first half, where they were pressing the Senegalese anytime they had the ball and they were trying to win the balls back. But after the second goal for the Brazilians, you have to say the Senegalese came out. Maybe the Brazilians also relaxed a little bit towards the end of that first half to give space to the likes of Sadio Mane, Ismail Assar from the wings, and also Iliman Ndiaye from the other wings, trying to cut in balls and put in those crosses. But all of that really didn't matter because they didn't get the goal. So the second half, what are we expecting? We expect them to start the way they finished the first half in terms of attacking the Brazilian side. I think the Brazilian side are still going to be very relaxed. They have 2 goals in the lead, 2-goal cushion, and definitely they might not just want to exert that much pressure like we saw in the first half. But I expect the Senegalese team to still come all out, attack the ball, and try to play good football. The worrying thing for me for the Senegalese is the fact that they are not playing from the midfield. We only see balls going to Ismail Sarr, Iliman Ndiaye in the wings, no coordination to the person who is going to get the ball in the middle in that 18-yard box. I think that's the only worry. Maybe Pape will have to fix that, but let's see how it goes in the second half.
It's been surprising and a bit, strange that the Senegalese side are not solid, defensively. I mean, we've always known them to be a very robust side, but they've allowed Brazil to run rings around them. We've seen, like we said, they've been very much fluid, gliding, Matthews Cunha, having the freedom of the city. I've not seen Senegal being organized in terms of their shape, and that's really, really worrying because we know how they can be very much organized as far as that is concerned. But to me, how do they get back into this one, Senegal?
I think first off, like you mentioned, they need to be organized at the back. They need not give Brazilian space. We know that Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo, yes, the 2 of them, especially even Matthews Cunha, they need space to run into. And when they get those spaces, they tend to cause worries for you, cause problems for you as a defender. And that's what the Senegalese need to cut out from the midfield. They need to do it from the midfield. I need to see more of Guillet. I've not seen much of him in terms of stopping the attacking play of the Brazilians. They need to be solid in that midfield to make sure that the Brazilians don't have spaces or don't have the chances to maneuver into their defensive formation. Having said that, you still have to look at also how well Kalidou Koulibaly and also Niakate are communicating in terms of who is going for and who is staying behind, who is coming to also help out in terms of covering each other. I think they need to also work on that because the Brazilians, what is going for them in the attacking third is the fact that Vinicius Junior can move into the midfield, Rodrigo can go to the left side. The only constant person we've been seeing here is Estevao, who is on the right side. But we've seen Cunha also moving from the left side to the midfield, going from the right side to the midfield, and that can also be very, very confusing for whoever is supposed to mark these 3 players. But all of that will make sense if the Senegalese can be very solid in terms of cutting out those passes from the likes of Casemiro or even deep from the defensive angle of the Brazilian side where Sandro or Eder Militao or Marquinhos or even Gabriel Magalhães can send in those long crosses. So they need to block that out first of all and make sure that they are solid in terms of defending, and then they can move from defense to midfield to attack to get their goals.
There's also a feeling that Pape Thiaw might need to rejig things a bit up front. I'm not sure that the blend is right in terms of the positioning. Iliman Ndiaye, Ismail Assar, and Sadio Mane, but they've got options on the bench. Is it time for Nicholas Jackson or Boulaye Dia to come through, probably to give them more energy, knowing fully all that the next goal in this game is going to be very much crucial?
I would have expected that maybe he still played this same squad, this same starting 11 for the first 10-15 minutes of the second half before he started making changes, because I think it's a balanced squad. You just need them to be in the right places. I would have expected that, hey, Ismail Assar, instead of playing from the left side, let him go to the right side. Iliman Ndiaye, let him play in the middle. Let Sadio Mane, like you want him to be the striker, let him play as a point man, or better still, let him come in from the left side that we always know him to come in from. I would have expected that. Then then allow that fluidity for the midfielders. Pape Matar should be in that middle. He should not go anywhere. He should try and stop the play of the Brazilians and also try to do his creative play from that midfield. Also, Gueye should also help out in terms of defending, in terms of marking, in terms of neutralizing the attacking play of the Brazilians. This is what I want to see in the first 5 minutes, first 10 minutes of the game for the second half. But if it doesn't change, then you can now start bringing those players with energy for the second half.
The bad news is that Brazil also are not doing bad. They're well stocked in terms of the depth they've got on the bench. They can look at players like João Pedro, the Chelsea player. There's also Paulo Henrique. There's Richarlison. There's Gabriel Martinelli as well. But I think Martinelli is not listed for this game because he's still trying to get back from injury. There's Andres Santos as well, the Chelsea midfielder.
Yep.
These are players that Carlo Ancelotti can call upon. Fabinho, who plays in the Saudi Pro League, is also part of this squad alongside likes of Vitor Roque. So lots of players that Carlo Ancelotti can look forward to if he wants to inflict more damage on Senegal, or if he wants to say, you know what, let's just keep our solidity and try to ensure that we don't concede in this game. So hey, second half has kicked off. Can confirm that to you now as we take you through the second 45 minutes of this one at the Emirates. It's Brazil 2, Senegal 0. Goals from Esteval, Willian and Casemiro. In fact, you could see that those 2 goals were made in the Premier League because both play in England. Esteval with Chelsea and Casemiro with Manchester
you had to go there.
United. But if you were a Brazilian, would you be so much comfortable that a lot of your players are now playing in Europe? And that's been one of the reservations of some of the fundamentalists who feel like for Brazil to return back to their glory days, they need to have more players who know the rudiments of the game, the Diogo Bonito. They need to get them back for them to be able to, because they feel like European football has made their football more robotic.
Well, in a way, you might be right there. Those who are thinking, who are in that school of thoughts, might also be very correct in terms of the style of the Brazilian football, the Diogo Bonito, that crude kind of skill, the skills they don't teach you, the skills that it's inborn or you grow to learn them on the streets of Brazil, the favelas then. But having said all of that, you have to look at the great Brazilian sides. Ronaldo, they also played in Europe. Rivaldo played in Europe. Ronaldinho made his name in Europe. So it shouldn't be an excuse. It should be another advantage for you, in fact. Coming from the Brazilian league, getting to Europe, learning the rudiments of European football, it should be another advantage. I think the only worrying thing for this Brazilian side is the very fact that they've not been consistent. We need to see that consistency from them in terms of how they play football, how they score goals, how they attack. We saw them at the last World Cup in Qatar 2022. They were not really fantastic. They were not really flamboyant like the Brazilian we used to know. But then it's still about consistency. It's about you winning matches consistently with how you play football, and that's what Ancelotti needs to instill in this Brazilian side.
All right, Senegal trying to, looks like Nicholas Jackson is warming up, preparing to come on. There's a Senegalese player down injured and getting some attention from the medics. Pape Matar, we can see him exiting, but is walking unhinged.
I don't think it's a serious injury.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's just trying to be cautious.
Yeah, walking unhinged, and looks like Pape Thiaw is trying to communicate with the bench. Looks like Pape Matar is done as he walks straight to the bench. That means Nicholas Jackson will get a chance to play in this one against Brazil. Free kick comes in from Brazil, but that will go out. Gabriel unable to get to the end of that free kick.
I think that was too long.
Yeah, that was too long from Esteval. And we know that is what Gabriel has always thrived on. Set pieces with Arsenal.
Yep.
Goal kick to Senegal. 3 minutes already of the second 45 gone. And we're waiting for Nicholas Jackson to now join the game. Looks like Pape Matar had something minor, and
yep, he didn't want to take chances.
They don't want to take those chances. Don't forget that Matar's Spurs up against Arsenal in the North London derby next weekend. So you can understand, I think Thomas Frank will be keeping a close eye on Pape Matassan, trying to know if there's nothing serious. So the on loan Bayern Munich striker Nicholas Jackson now on the pitch to complement that forward line that's got Sadio Mane, Iliman Ndiaye and Ismail Assar, as Senegal tried to, get back into this one.
I think they'll be having an unbalanced team in terms of midfield and attacking play. Yeah, because now you have 4 attacking players in terms of, and you're having
yeah, but you're 2-0 down, you need to just throw everything at it.
Yeah, maybe then you now concede more goals, because in the first instance you conceded 4 goals when you conceded 2 goals when you had 3 midfielders. Now you're having 2 midfielders to hold up play. But now we're seeing Iliman Ndiaye in the middle.
Yeah, Iliman Ndiaye coming into some sort of familiar territory now. That's playing as an orchestrator. Maybe that gets some creative juice flowing out of the Everton player. Ismail Assar now on the right. Finds Idrissa Gueye. Gueye back to Mendy. Mendy sleeps, but referee says play on. And Moussa Niakate will have to take one, or Antoine Mendy will have to take one for the team as he gets a yellow card, foul on Rodrigo. He had to take one for the team.
Yeah, definitely. He was gone. He had beaten him.
And that was because Niakate was beaten.
Yeah, and you have to say Rodrigo was fast with that ball, even though he was still trying to wrestle with him, but then coming from behind, definitely that was a clear foul from Mendy.
Yeah. Pape Gueye, the Villarreal man, lost the ball, and he had to be rescued and had to take one for the team. That's Antoine Mendy.
Oh.
Lovely press coming from Sadio Mane, and it's going to tap into an empty net. No! Edison has just got to the get out of jail card. Iliman Ndiaye unable to punish Brazil there.
That was a silly one from Edison, if you ask me, because yes, he was under a little bit of pressure.
It's actually a harmless pass from Marquinhos.
Yeah, but then how would you just your first touch, you let the ball go way away from you? You're just giving an opportunity, enticing ball for the Senegalese to attack.
Iliman Ndiaye knows he should have done better there. All he had to do was just tap into an empty net.
Yeah.
But his team effort hit the upright. And that will have been Senegal's way back into this game. Could be a turning point. Nicholas Jackson. Lovely interchange of passes at Ismail Assar, but loose pass, but Sadio Mane still recovers it. Mane to his left, finds Nicholas Jackson. Jackson, lovely pass to find Idrissa Gueye. Gueye gets away from Casemiro. Senegal building up nicely. Jacobs, Susani. Sorry, Mane. Mane comes inside, finds Nicholas Jackson. Senegal still with the ball. It's Antoine Mendy, tries to get to the byline, sends that no crossing. But Brazil are unable to tidy things. Idrissa Gueye again. Ismail Assar. Assar to his right, finds lovely cross inside. Nicholas Jackson unable to get to the end of that one. It's out for a corner kick. Good spell from Senegal.
Yeah, good one for them. I think they're playing the passes better now. They're trying to connect themselves in the half of the Brazilians. I think also the Brazilians are just allowing the Senegalese to play, to see what they want to do with the ball, just allowing them that free flow. But you have to give it to the Senegalese. They're playing some good passes here, and they're opening up spaces for a goal, possibly.
Good press from Nicholas Jackson to really put Edison on the course, but Senegal take the corner kick quickly. Sends that cross in. But that header from Kalidou Koulibaly is unable to be on target. They are now asking serious questions of Brazil. I mean, they were innovative there, quickly took it.
Yeah, it was a short one, and the cross came in, but then Koulibaly couldn't just put his head on target for that ball.
Brazil will have to be very much wary here. Like we said, the first half, there's a bit of recent history. Took a 2-goal lead in the last international friendly, and They lost that game 3-2 against Japan. They'll be very, very much wary and have that at the back of their minds. Brazil, but Guimarães unable to control that pass over the top.
I think a different thing we're seeing from this Brazilian side is the fact that they're not pressing like they pressed in that first half before they got those goals. The second half, they are a little relaxed. They're letting the Senegalese play the passes out from their 18-yard box compared to what we saw in that first 20-25 minutes of the first half where they were pressing them. The 4 attacking players of Brazil were pressing them. Now we're going to see the press again.
Oh, that's Senegal almost getting into trouble. But Rodrigo unable to punish that error from Kalidou Koulibaly.
I think there was a foul on Ghana there, but the referee just overlooked that.
Take a look at that again. That's a pass. I think it's really a bad pass from Edouard Mendy.
Yeah, it was a terrible one, actually.
Yeah, terrible pass. And Bruno Guimarães cuts it. Casemiro cuts it. Gets the ball to Rodrigo, but Rodrigo is unable to just put into an empty net. But it's out for a corner kick, by the way. Esteval will take. We've not seen much of him in the early stages of the second half. It was very much lively early on in the first half. Corner kick to Brazil. Jared Gillett sharing a few words, trying to ensure that everything is cool and calm. Esteval swings that one in. A bit of scramble in there. Iliman Ndiaye clears. But looks like the referee has spotted an infringement.
Yeah, so I think it was a foul on Sadio Mane, who was trying to clear the ball, but he was kicked, and the referee has given the free kick to the Senegalese, even though there's a potential penalty check from VAR, as the referee is still holding up play, but now it's been confirmed. There's nothing to check about it. The check is over, and definitely it's free kick for the Senegalese.
Carlo Ancelotti looking a bit worried, not too happy with the way his lads might just have started the second half. As Senegal look to crank up the pressure and get back into this game. Iliman Ndiaye again in the middle, trying to make things happen. Finds Jacob on his left, back to Ndiaye. Finds Pape Gueye there. And Gueye, lovely ball to Ismail Assar. Was got Alexandro keeping tabs. Back to Antoine Mendy. Mendy to Sarr. Sarr has been sandwiched. Robbed by Casemiro, who's having a great game. Casemiro gets the ball to Vinicius Junior. Beats Niakate, or beats Koulibaly. Well, Koulibaly fouls him and is signalling to the referee to give a caution to the Al Hilal defender, and the referee obliges. It's going to be a yellow card to Kalidou Koulibaly. He has to be careful now.
Yeah, he has to. First time we saw him complaining about some calls from the referee. We even saw him getting into some scuffles with the Brazilian players, especially Vinicius. Maybe he still has that in his mind against the Real Madrid star, and that's why he's going for any bit of tackle to just avenge his anger against him. But hey, he's got a yellow, so he has to be careful now.
He's got to be very much careful, the Senegal captain. You don't want to play this Brazil side handicapped. That is a recipe for disaster, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Now Brazil on the attack. Ball to Vinicius Junior. Unable to really control it. Edouard Mendy is back with the ball, trying to find an out ball, and he finds Jacobs. Jacobs with a long ball towards Sadio Mane. Ball falls kindly to Iliman Ndiaye. Ndiaye back to Pape Gueye. Senegal building up really nicely. Antoine Mendy to Ismail Assar on that right inside. Drives through, sends that cross in. It's out for a corner kick. Better from Senegal.
Yeah. Better ball progression, better ball play, better ball arrangement, and also better openings from the players are trying to create space for themselves. So Ismail Assar is now in his natural habitat.
Yeah, the blend looks better now. It looks much more better now.
It looks balanced now for the Senegalese, and now they are beginning to create chances for themselves. We're seeing them getting more corners and more set pieces, and that shows that there's a progression in the attacking play.
Ismail Jacobs sends that corner kick in. But Brazil standing strong, defending that one very convincingly. Foul on Idrissa Gueye, and referee says that was an illegal challenge from Vinicius Junior. Senegal take that quickly, trying to get Brazil off guard. But that, for all intent and purposes, has backfired. As they relinquish possession back to Brazil. We're going to take a goal kick.
Plenty of worry from Pape Thiaw, and you wonder what's the worry for? It's just a friendly, just for you to test your players.
Yeah, but I mean it's also a friendly, but it's also their final game before the AFCON.
Yeah, then again,
you also want things to be right before they go into Africa's biggest football tournament next month.
True that, but hey, you're playing Brazil, you're playing a team that is star-studded, you're playing a team that is very technical and also very skillful. So if you take whatever comes here and just use it as a learning curve for him.
Coming off the fact that they beat England, I thought convincingly for me at Wembley, they know that they should have consolidated more on that against Brazil. But hey, in credit to their football federation, you get England and you get Brazil back to back.
That's
I mean, it also speaks volume of their growing stature in the African game and also globally as well.
If you can command games against Brazil, against England back to back, tells you how good your country is playing and how well you're being known all over the world. No wonder they are one of the best ranked teams in Africa too.
João Pedro getting set to come on, swarming up by the sidelines. That should be cause for more worry for Senegal. Ismail Assar. Referee says play on, no foul on the Crystal Palace wide man. Vinicius coming from wide again. Getting at Ismail Koulibaly. Goes back to find Rodrigo. Calls that one, but unfortunately, it's not on target.
The curve wasn't there, even though he did his best to put that ball in the bottom corner, but then again, he wasn't just curving enough to beat Edouard Mendy. It was way wide.
Way wide. Was lacking in that curve that he would have been looking for. Looks like Jared Gillett is halting play. There's been another booking. We think we'll get confirmation of that pretty much soon. Senegal restart play. Edouard Mendy gets the ball to Idrissa Gueye. Lovely work. Nicholas Jackson dropping deep. All right, we can confirm that Villarreal's Papa Gueye was booked. Antoine Mendy, lovely effort. Sends a cross in. Mane unable to get there. Out again for a goal kick.
It was an enticing cross on Ali from Mendy because that ball is the kind of ball that beats every defender. And you were just expecting, Sadio Mane was even expecting the pass, raising his hand up for that cross to come in. Finally came in, but then he wasn't quick to the ball.
It's been a very good start to the second period for Senegal, but they're just lacking that finishing touch to be able to get back into this game. Sadio Mane, knowing fully well he should probably have done better there. But he also had Eder Militao keeping checks. All right, again, it's been stopped because it appears that Casemiro might be needing medical attention as João Pedro suited up. Brazil getting ready to make a couple of changes. It looks like João Pedro will be the first to come on. It's actually Gabriel who is getting some medical attention. I'm sure that Mikel Arteta and also fans
will be worried at this point.
Will be worried at the sight of that, especially with this one being played at the Emirates.
I hope it's not something serious for Gabriel Magalhães, because maybe we need to do tackle again, but it's worrying right now because he's down and flat on the ground, covering his face, telling you that he's in maybe serious pain. Let's hope it's something he can shake off before club football returns.
Will he be able to shake this one off? Will he be treated as a precaution and taken off? Looks like he will have to go off as he trudges off, and the physios already signaling to Carlo Ancelotti, the bench, to make a change. Doesn't look good for the player, and you can see the fans looking morose as well. Something's wrong with the Arsenal defender.
I think something definitely is wrong, and he's not happy with the fact that it might be a long-term injury. Yeah, because he's not smiling.
It's pointing towards his groin. Yeah, looks like it's a groin as he puts his hands in his groin area. But the changes will go on. Matheus Cunha will come off for João Pedro. We can also see Wesley Franca, the AS Roma attacker, is also coming as well. So 2 substitutions, Gabriel and Matheus Cunha out, João Pedro and Wesley Franca in, which also means that we're probably going to see Eder Militao now moving to centre-back, right?
Yeah, you see Eder Militao back into that centre-back to pair Marquinhos and make sure everything is tight at the back.
All right, Senegal very much on the attack now. Sadio Mane trying to beat Wesley Franca, who will slot in a right back. Mane's won a throw, a corner kick. It's actually won a corner kick. Senegal will need to make something happen from this promising attacking positions they've gotten themselves to.
I think they need to take chances here. They need to convert the chances they're having. They've been having so many corners, set pieces, but they've not been using them.
Corner kick, Senegal, but Brazil, minimum force, get it out. That's a wrong header from Idris Gueye as Brazil attack on the break. Vinicius Junior from the left. Senegal trying to recover back. Cross comes in and deflected towards the path of Edouard Mendy, was going to save.
Now that deflection actually stopped the ball from going where Vinicius intended it to go to, because his man was still there.
What a tackle! What a tackle from Bruno Guimaraes.
The referee had to call it back.
But referee Jai Gillett had to signal that was a poor one, and Casemiro has got to the yellow card for that. It looked like a good one at first look, but let's take a look at that counter attack from Brazil led by Vinicius Junior.
That was a good run.
Yeah, good run, but good recovery from Ismail Assar, who gets a leg into that and deflects back to the Senegal goalkeeper. Casemiro now in the books for what was deemed an illegal challenge.
He's still not happy about it, though.
Yeah, not happy. I thought it was a good
tackle.
Yeah, I thought it was a good one. Hopefully we get to see that again. A lovely work from Sadio Mane to open up that pass for Jacobs. Jacobs has been dispossessed. Wesley Franca now with the ball. Franca back to Marquinhos. And just like we said, Eder Militao now partnering Marquinhos at centre-back. Sadio Mane, lovely ball work from the Al Nassr man as he drops deep. Senegal just lacking in that final extra quality up front to just get a goal in here. Ball to Antoine Mendy, effort, but not on target.
A good one from Pape. Trying to put that one on target, but it was an effort that was just too wide off the mark. But it was a good ball to him, and I think maybe he could have just played in the pass there instead of trying to go for the goal.
Pape knows he should be doing better. Pape Cho knows that the Villarreal midfielder should be doing better with that effort from distance. Brazil will get going once again. It's not really been a performance flowing with the panache that they approached it with in the first half. It's basically maybe a game of two halves here, the proverbial game of two halves. The Senegal have been on top. Esteval now. First time we've really seen him in the second half as he comes inside. Lovely pass to Vini. Vini.
Yeah.
Rodrigo unable to really get Vini that pass he needed.
But it was a good run from Esteval, who made that the whole work looked like a goal was coming for Brazil. But then Rodrigo, with that final pass to Vinicius, wasn't good enough. But still, the Brazilians are still having the ball and trying to make do of one or two chances that they're trying to create here. But we have to say here that they've not created those clear-cut chances
that they did in
like we saw in the first half. And it's an opportunity for the Senegalese to step up their game and just get something back in this game. But we're not seeing it still from the Teranga Lions. Let's just still keep watching and see maybe they can still spring up some good chances to score a goal here.
All right, lovely pass towards Vinny. Comes inside. He's got Kalidou Koulibaly who pays attention. A good, fantastic interception from Jacobs right there.
I think Rodrigo was holding on to the ball for too long there. He could have just dropped that pass for Esteval, who was way open and had a better chance of at least getting that ball into the 18-yard box.
It's Senegal's turn to attack now. Iliman Ndiaye on the edge of the box. Oh, that pass is not enough, but it's Ademani. Yeah, right, he thinks he's been fouled, asking for a penalty, but Jared Gillett says no, play on. Which gets Brazil on the counter-attack. Rodrigo now on the ball. Finds Vinicius. We've seen this situations a couple of times, but Brazil have not been able to really profit fully. Now João Pedro has a chance, but the ball's taken away from him. Vini finds a way to get it back. Lovely pass towards Esteval. Trying to pull the trigger, but Jacobs intervening. It's out for a corner kick.
A good move from the Brazilians, but you have expected them to change that direction of play since the ball went out again outside of the 18-yard box. In fact, I was thinking they were going to give that pass to Esteval, who was free on this side, and not until Vinicius still had another opportunity to lay that pass into the 6-yard box for Esteval. Good one from Vinicius Jr. here to put in that pass for Esteval, but Jacobs, a fantastic sliding to make sure that ball didn't get to Esteval.
Corner kick to Brazil. They've stepped it up after what has been a down second half from Carlo Ancelotti's side. Esteval will take this corner kick, sends it in, but Senegal out through Anton Mendy. But Brazil have the ball back again, send it back to Ederson, who has been very much active in this second half, in contrast to what was a bit of less busy first half. Senegal with a rare chance here, but lovely recovery effort from Bruno Guimaraes to ensure that danger was sniffed out. No cause for worry for the Seleção, as they try to mop up the danger. Marquinhos now with the ball. Casemiro drops, dips to receive. Back to the PSG captain, Marquinhos. Brazil trying to recover a bit of their fluidity. And Vini also seen a lot of the ball, was seeing a lot of Kalidou Koulibaly, beats him. Sends a low cross, but that's been deflected out for a corner kick again from Ismail Assar. Better from Brazil again.
Yeah, I think Vinicius needs to do better with his final delivery. It's been lacking with that accuracy you have expected to see from him. But let's see what he can still do, because he's still trying to find his feet in this game.
All right, they take that corner quickly. It's a short one. Out for another corner kick. Iliman Ndiaye blocking that cross from Vinny Jr. Games in the 72nd minute. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, vivxsports, bringing you the very best of African football. Don't forget, tomorrow join us for the CAF FIFA World Cup playoff final between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Leopards of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Our studios will open from 7 p.m. Don't miss that for anything. Setting Brazil with a corner kick. It's a long one. Mane gets that out. Ball back with Brazil, but it's an aimless passer from Alexandro. Trying to get it back to Rodrigo, but that will go for a throw-in.
The advantage here should be that the Senegalese would mount pressure, will put in the pressure against the Brazilian side, but we are not seeing it so far from the Teranga Lions. Maybe that's why this change will come on for them. Maybe this will still spark up some kind of attacking excitement for them in this final 17 minutes.
All right, Papicho getting ready to make his second change of the game. First change actually was Nicholas Jackson coming on for Pape Matar Sarr. But that change hasn't been made yet as Senegal play with fire, trying to play out from the back. But they've done that successfully. Sadio Mane now with the ball. He's dropping deeper this time. Trying to receive the ball from deep and trying to make something happen. Different from what we saw in the first period when he played more in that centre forward role. Foul on Nicholas Jackson. No price for guessing, it's Casemiro at the scene of the crime.
But he's been doing a yeoman's job in that midfield.
Actually, 3 changes Pape Thiaw will be making. Iliman Ndiaye is off. And looks like Ndiaye
wasn't supposed to get off.
He actually went off, but the manager just told him, you're still very much on. But Jacobs will be out, the left back. Sadio Mane is also off as well.
He's never had good impact in this game so far. He's just been here and there, huffing and puffing, but not really doing much in that attacking third.
All right, yet to confirm the third change, but we could see 3 Senegal players coming on. And we can confirm that Pathsis, the Rava Kano player, is on. Mohamed Biram Diop as well, who now plays his football in the Premier League with West Ham. So Papagay is off as well. So we've got Pathsis coming on, as well as Mohamed Biram Diop. As Senegal hope those changes can have the desired effect, give them a bit of more energy. Timi, what are you looking for when you bring in 3 changes immediately?
You're looking for energy. You're looking for that energy in midfield, energy in attack, and trying to make sure the strength in your defensive unit also is not lacking. I think that's a change we've seen so far, especially for that midfield. He wants some kind of firepower to still maintain the momentum with which they can get a goal against the Brazilians here. And I hope these players will really do the damage, or will really do the work that Pape Thiaw has brought them in for. Because so far, you just have this feeling that the Senegalese having more of the ball in the second half, but they're not doing much with it. They're not really very, very instructive in terms of trying to get that goal they need to get an equalizer in this match.
They need to get back into this game, but they will have 40 minutes to be able to do that as Brazil win a free kick. Wesley Franca fouled by Mbaye, one of the new entrants. And Mbaye, who plays the Paris Saint-Germain, the 17-year-old, Brian Mbaye. He's been part of that PSG squad this Ligue season. And part of the drive of Pape Thiaw to refresh the team with younger players as they prepare for the AFCON in December. Idrissa Gueye gets the ball to Kalidou Koulibaly. Tempo down now, and I mean, it's probably resolved from both sides, knowing that the energy levels cannot be maintained.
Yeah, I think the energy level the Brazilians showed in the first half really told us the story of how they wanted to attack, how they wanted to get those early goals. They've gotten those goals and they've just eased off in the second half. They're playing a more relaxed football where they're just waiting on the counter against what we saw in the first half, where they were pressing hard, trying to get the ball back, win the ball back in the half of the Senegalese. This time it's just about relaxed football, playing on the counter, giving Vinicius to make those runs against the Senegalese who are looking for a goal back.
And that will worry manager Carlo Ancelotti, because he will want his team to sustain the intensity for 90 minutes, especially when you get into the competitive action.
Yeah, true, but you can't sustain.
The game is not played for 45 minutes. It's just like the Super Eagles.
We know.
Who were good in the first half against Gabon.
Yeah, but when you start with that kind of intensity, you don't expect it to last you for 90 minutes. There will be some times where you ease off.
Ibrahim Mbaye with the ball, but he seemed to have fouled Wesley Franca while trying to have a clear sight of goal, the youngster. João Pedro also not seemed to be happy with Jared Gillett. As Mbaye
I think the
tripped Wesley Franca.
Yeah, the foul on Wesley was what João Pedro was complaining about. But the referee just didn't deem it fit to blow his whistle there. But I think he still called for the foul in the end.
So free kick to Brazil, but in the goalkeeper's area, as Marquinhos will take that. Or he's left it to Edison to take. We're closing in on the last 10 minutes of this fixture at the Emirates. Brazil 2, Senegal 0. First half goals from Esteval Willian and Casemiro. Papicho's side have had an encouraging second half, but is really led to nothing in terms of the end product. They've laboured in vain here. Iliman Ndiaye sends the ball to Idrissa Gueye in midfield. Gueye progressing with the ball, finds Ismail Sarr. Sarr looks to the right to Antoine Mendy. Mendy tries to find Idrissa Gueye, but that's been intercepted by Flamengo left back Alexandro. One of the best left backs in Europe in his heydays, Alexandro.
Yeah, he was.
If not the best left back.
Yeah,
it was at Juventus.
At Juventus, yeah, he was. But then you just have to say, hey, it just didn't work well for him in Europe. He had to go back to Brazil, where he's still enjoying his football. I think the Brazilian side, the sweet thing for them is the fact that they have the players covered almost all over the world. You go to Saudi Arabia, you go to Europe, you go even in South Africa, you see Brazilians there. So they have players all over the world. They have good players also.
They are the number one exporters of football in the world.
Yeah, and
that's why they're number one. It's number one. All right, Senegal still trying to find a way back. Path says to Idrissa Gueye. Gueye to Diaye. Fantastic 1-2. Antoine Mendy sends that low pass in there, but Wesley Franca.
I think sharp defending.
That was sharp defending from the Roma man.
And that was attention to details from the defense of the Brazilian side. They knew the ball was going to still go to that far flank, and they were expecting a cross.
Credit to Franca, he quickly got himself on the good side of Nicholas Jackson in terms of expecting what was coming. He was anticipating, he was proactive in there.
And I think that's what's working for the Brazilians here. They anticipated danger before getting into position to clear off the danger.
Another raft of changes from Papicho, as Ismail Sarr is being subbed off. And coming on will be Sharif. Iliman Ndiaye is also coming off for Sabali. And that's Sheikh Sabali, who plays the French side, Metz. Brazil also getting ready to make a couple of changes as well. But this corner kick will be taken first. Corner kick to Senegal. But Brazil, as usual, deal with it really well.
Offside.
Offside. Offside, Senegal. And that's the new entrant, Sharif.
It's funny how the players you would have expected to get the goals for the Senegal team
have been taken off.
I've been taken off, and it's just funny. But hey, it is what it is. Like you mentioned earlier, maybe it's just that time for him to see some players also who you might be taking to the Nations Cup, where they will need to still perform at a bigger stage and also try to win the competition again for the second time.
Esteval now out. It's been replaced. I think by Victor Roque.
Getting a hug from his coach tells you a lot.
Yeah, and Rodrigo has also been taken off. Lucas Paqueta, the West Ham midfielder, has come on for the last 8 minutes of this friendly.
I think what Carlo Ancelotti is trying to do with this Brazilian squad is to give them that belief in their mind that they can still be the Brazil of 2002, the Brazil of 1994 that won the World Cup. I think he needs to put in that belief into the squad because they're so talented that you expect them to be winning titles every now and then. But it's not been the case for this squad. It's not been the case for this talent, this pool of talent. Vinicius Junior plays for Real Madrid. Rodrigo plays for Real Madrid. Players playing for big clubs, but yet Brazil is not ticking.
Good show of speed from Eder Militao there to quickly anticipate the danger from Mbaye. I mean, seeing that just tells you that Militao is back and back to his best after being out for a while. Easily, for me, one of the best defenders in the world.
Absolutely.
On his day.
Yeah, without injuries. He's one of the best. And I think he's one player who we've seen over the years that he can also score goals. He can add goals to his game, even though he's not so much of a goal, but then he can also be a goal threat when you put in those crosses and also put in those set pieces from corner kicks.
We're closing in on full time, and Senegal realizing that it's going to be a gargantuan task trying to get back into this one. They've labored and labored with that anything to show for it at the end. It's been an encouraging second half.
For the Senegalese, you want to say?
Yes, for Senegal. But Brazil, we'll see if they can really add more gloss to the scoreline. Probably get a third. Credit to both of them. They've committed to attacking.
Yep.
And that explains why we've seen some good football, especially in the early stages of this game. First half, there was a phase when both of them were going at each other.
Yep. I think the sweet thing for the Brazilian team is the fact that they got those goals in the first half.
Yeah.
Maybe if Senegal had defended better and they didn't concede 2 goals in that first half, maybe the second half will still have opened the game more for the Brazilians to attack, because now they look like a team that is jaded. They look like a team who's just trying to maintain this 2-goal lead and not add pressure to themselves, waiting on the counter before they can attack. The Senegalese are also more or less looking for spaces to attack and get into the defense of the Brazilians, but it's been quite difficult for them because the Brazilians now are just having only 1 or 2 players in attack, and the other players are falling back into midfield and defense to form that defensive formation.
Brazil on the attack now. Vinicius has got Kalidou Koulibaly for company. Comes inside, sends the ball to Luis Enrique, the Zenit St. Petersburg man. Luis Enrique with the ball in the box, trying to find an option. Looks back and finds Lucas Paqueta. Paqueta to Guimarães. Guimarães at the edge of the area, sends the ball to Vinicius. Vinicius now to João Pedro. Lovely work for Senegal. Get the ball out, but not for long. Vinicius still in the prowl. Nicholas Jackson robs him off the ball, and it's now Senegal attacking. It looks forward. Lovely work from the Bayern Munich man as he comes inside and gets the ball to Sabali. Sabali's clueless, but he has no choice but to go back and Brazil to have the ball again.
He doesn't have the legs to dribble. Come on. What is he thinking there?
What was he really thinking there? And Brazil now playing at snail speed, trying to see out the game. Alexandro to Eder Militao. Militao back to Sandro. Crunching tackle from Sabali or Idris Gueye, but it's been penalized.
And
Jared Gillett showing a yellow card.
He's surprised for the yellow. He's acting surprised. But you see the tackle again from Idrissa. You know, it's a hard one.
That's the yellow card all day.
It's a hard one on Alexandro. But I hope he doesn't do that again, because he might just get a red here.
All right, the game's been towards the end. Thank you very much for following this live broadcast right here on vivxsports as Carlo Ancelotti prepares to make another double change. Basically for this players to just have a feel of the Emirates. Vinicius Jr. tries to slip that one to the path of Lucas Paqueta, but Antoine Mendy saw that one, intercepted. Ball's out for a throw-in, and Brazil preparing for another change, and this time around it will be Fabricio Bruno preparing to come on. Senegal trying to break, passes. One of the breakout stars in La Liga last season, Rayo Vallecano. Passes. Senegal on the attack now. Lovely interchange of passes. Sabali gets the ball now to Sharif. But Sabali has been... I mean, you have to applaud the way Brazil have also defended.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially Bruno Guimarães. He has been a menace.
I think they've been very, very stout in the defending. They've allowed the Senegalese to try physicality, technicality, and the Brazilian defense has shown up in all of this. You have to give them credit for this. As Carlo Ancelotti will be making another change here, Alexandro coming off. But then you just have to say, hey, even after they lost Gabriel Magalhães, with Eder Militao and also Marquinhos playing in that defensive center of defense, they are still solid. And it goes to tell you that defensive-wise, they are very good. Attacking-wise, they're also looking very good. They just need to be very, very consistent in the games they play and how they win matches henceforth.
Fabrizio Bruno is on for Alexandro, and Vinicius Junior has also come off as well, and is coming off for number 16, Caio Henrique. Caio Henrique plays at Monaco as a defender. So 2 defenders coming on for Brazil to see out this game as Senegal take a free kick. It's a wicked effort, wicked cross, but it's been repelled by Bruno Guimaraes, who I think has been the man of the match for me here.
I think the Brazilian defense has also been very solid in
very
solid set-piece defending. They've been precise, in fact, with the way they defend, and I think it's something lovely to behold. The Senegalese couldn't even use aerial balls. They tried putting the ball on the ground, it wasn't working. And they've tried aerial balls, still not working. And you have to give kudos to Carlo Ancelotti for instilling this defensive solidity for the Brazilian side.
3 minutes added on at the Emirates. Brazil 2, Senegal 0. Senegal unable to get back into this game despite a raft of changes from Pape Thiaw. And Brazil putting the rest of the world on notice about their World Cup credentials as they continue to prepare for the World Cup in North America next year. A mundial that the Super Eagles will have to go through the back door. But they won't mind. It's the price they have to pay for a lackadaisical qualifying campaign. So they take another step towards that qualification tomorrow against DRC. Kickoff is 8 p.m. Our doors open at 7 p.m. right here on vivxsports. Make sure you keep on subscribing to our channel and join the conversation on our social media platforms. Senegal on the attack, Nicholas Jackson on the left-hand side here, looking for support. But once again, you can see Brazil double marking. It's mass attack, mass defense.
Yeah.
When they're defending, everyone is defending. And that's the attitude Carlo Ancelotti will want from his players on a consistent basis.
And that consistency is what they need at this point. Winning games and trying to make sure they see out matches with the goals that they've scored and not conceding. It's a good one that we've seen from the Brazilian side today, especially in the first half where they were all Brazilian, all attacking, all flying and getting 2 goals. The Senegalese couldn't even break their defense, even when they pedaled down a little bit in the second half, trying to just play a very slow game, play some counter-attacks, and just trying to simmer out the remaining minutes of the game. So it's cruise control right now for the Brazilian side. And I like the fact that they are looking very solid in attack and looking very solid in defense too.
They showed 2 sides to their team today. The first half was the more flamboyant side. And in the second half, they showed that they could graft. They could be solid without being spectacular.
Exactly.
Substance over style. And that's seen them shut out Senegal at the Emirates. And 3 minutes on the clock is done already, and we're just waiting for Jared Gillett to sound the full-time whistle, which has gone off now. It's full-time at the Emirates Stadium in North London as Carlo Ancelotti and Pape Thiaw exchange pleasantries. It's master, basically, and apprentice. And the Masters come out on top in here. And the goals have come from Chelsea youngster Esteval and Manchester United midfielder Casemiro, as Brazil wrap up 2025 with a win. To me,
yeah, it's a good one for them. Their qualifiers in the South American continent really didn't go down well because they were losing matches here and there. But then again, it's worth it that they'll still be at the World Cup. A final game for them to come together before the World Cup happens, or maybe a game 2 might just come in March when the FIFA window opens up again for them to play that. But for the Brazilian side, it's an opportunity to see different players play for them and also see how well they can blend together. Like you mentioned earlier, we saw 2 Brazilian sides in this game, the flamboyant one in the first half and also the rugged one in the second half that had to defend a 2-goal lead. It's fantastic to see from the Seleção that they are able to do 2 different things in a particular game.
And don't forget, like I said, I think I was wrong. Brazil, this is not their final game of the year. They wrap up the year on Tuesday, and guess what? It's against another African opposition, against the Carthage Eagles of Tunisia. That's another side that punched its tickets to the FIFA World Cup in USA, Canada, and Mexico in 2026. For Senegal, do you think Papecha will be too worried about the performance today as they get ready for the AFCON next month?
Yeah, he should be worried. He's conceding goals. I think that's the biggest worry for Papecha in this matches he's seen today. Or in the matches even before today, he's been conceding goals. Senegal, we used to know them for a very rugged side. We know them for that stout defending and very hard to break in terms of how if you attack them, anyhow you want to attack them. But the worrying thing for me is the fact that even as they conceded those goals, they were not really threatening in terms of the attacking play. Maybe the personnel he used in the first half wasn't working well, like we mentioned. The dimension of how they were playing, or the personnel, the places they were playing. We saw Sadio Mane trying to play from the middle. We saw Iliman Ndiaye trying to play from the wings. Ismail Assar playing from the other flank instead of the other flank. So it was like he was testing these players to see whether they could blend in. But let's hope that this is just a testing thing for him. The AFCON is next month. He won't have time to test players when the competition kicks off proper. And with what we've seen today in this match, where they are very fragile in defense, Kalidou Koulibaly, Niakate not really understanding themselves in that defensive blunder that cost that second goal. I think it's a worry for Papa Theo to look at and also try to find a way to fix that.
And they'll also be involved next week Tuesday against Kenya in another friendly, as they continue to fine-tune their preparations ahead of the Africa Cup of Nations. We have come to the end of today's live commentary session. Watch along. That's in Brazil defeats the Teranga Lions of Senegal 2-0 at the Emirates Stadium. A bit of a worry if you're an Arsenal fan, because Gabriel went out of the game due to what looked like a growing problem. Arsenal will hope that it's not something to really worry about as the Premier League will resume next weekend. Thank you to everyone who joined us on vivxsports. Remember to continue to subscribe to our channel. Subscribe so you can get notifications when we've got massive games coming up. And tomorrow, don't forget, it's Nigeria against DR Congo. Tibi, what's your prediction on that?
Nigeria to win in 90 minutes, 3-1.
Nigeria to win 3-1. That's an early prediction coming from Timi Owe. I'm also confident that Nigeria will beat DRC and qualify for the Intercontinental Playoffs coming up next year, March, in Mexico, where we will be playing just one match because of our rankings. And some good news, we're hearing that Wilfred Ndidi has been cleared to play tomorrow's game. We thought he was suspended for an accumulation of yellow cards, but word has come from CAF that Wilfred Ndidi is eligible to play, but Nigerians are saying, see, I beg. If it's possible, don't risk it. Or call FIFA themselves
to confirm. But if it's coming from CAF, I think it's solid enough.
And we know how important Wilfred Ndidi will be for the Super Eagles.
Very, very important.
He put a very great shift against Gabon just a few 2 days ago. All right, Timmy, thanks for coming through.
Always a pleasure.
All righty, and we'll be back tomorrow. Guys, don't forget, Doors open 7 p.m. and we've got Nigeria up against the Democratic Republic of Congo, and live commentary is right here on vivxsports. On behalf of everyone part of this production, we say thank you for watching and we'll see you soon.